Welcome to Cranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Cranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. Good night, good night, good night. I thought I was on live actually. How everyone doing? How you doing out there in YouTube land? Bless up, bless up, bless up. It's the night before the night. And it's going to be a late night tomorrow night. I had my time mixed up, people. As you're watching champs, you know my school always do well. And it said 9 p.m. is going to be over for the track and field. That's at 9 p.m. Jamaica time versus 9 p.m. US time. So I'm here saying, okay, I don't want to conflict. People going to watch champs, so let me just not conflict with champs. Let me just start as soon as champs done and then realize, you know what? Maybe the champ's not done till 10 o'clock my time. So yes, I am late. I'm watching the women's 100 meters for girls, and I run to the tape and they might call them back. I have some confusion in some of these races. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. Bless up Twain, Richard, Flash, Peter, Odell, and Omar was here really early. Omar coming from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But we have a lot to talk about tonight. We'll talk football. But if you see me looking up, that means me I glance from the track and field. So watch, you know. I have a Madrid jersey. So the story behind that, I realized I've been going to the gym and the Madrid jersey getting tight. So I wear it out before we can't. Yeah. I wear it out before we can't pick the person. That's why I have it on. And I'm Madrid fan, but if I get tight, maybe I can't breathe the turn night, can't breathe. Somebody said to me, "Oh, it's all wear the jersey. I'm not really great go to now on people road, so I'm gonna wear the jersey until I can't wear it no more." I was at an event. I told you guys I was emceeing an event the other day, and a member of our soccer club passed away, treasurer, and they wanted to wear the jacket, the tracksuit top for the team, and suffice to say, mine couldn't fit. So I took that as a guide that I should wear the things that I have and wear them out as much as possible, even if I'm not supporting of that team. I sense the winning. Yeah, they beat up. Well, we need to emulate them, right? Because they destroyed City and City destroyed us. Don't ask me how that worked. And I don't think Madrid can beat us like how they beat City, but I shouldn't say that because we haven't really done well. We have been awful the last few weeks. So let's see what happens. But good night, everybody. We have some things to talk about. Enough things to talk about. Now, the first thing I'm going to start off with this is a negative note. So maybe this is a theme, you know. We'll talk about a few things. We'll talk about, go through the interviews that was done with Tyrese Hall, interview done with Andre Brooks, and the discussion that Shamar Thomas had with ESPN. So ESPN 2 nights in a row. Then we're going to touch upon New Caledonia a little bit, their process of getting here. And we're going to focus on the Reggae Boyz. What strategy should they employ in the games they're going to be playing? And not only that, but also the team, the squad, and who we believe should be our starting team. Right? Everybody have an idea of who should start. And yours truly does is no different. So we'll see how that works. But the first thing I want to touch on is none of those items. So you hear me express some consternation, concern, frustration with the comparative that was done between Tyrese Hall and Whisper. And there are a lot of comments in response to last night's program. Right? A lot of comments. And people are saying, well, Cranky, get over it. Whisper deserves to be there. What are you talking about? He always performed with the national team. And there's some credence to that. Right? I'll get to that flash stream. I'll get to that soon. There's some, after I finish talking about this, there's some credence to that. So I won't disagree that Whisper has played well for the national team, even though he hasn't got much minutes. He hasn't embarrassed himself. But also, I also mentioned that Whisper stats don't stand up to scrutiny. And people are getting upset with me like, oh, you talk about the stats. If you are living in today's world and stats are not part of your domain, you should go live in another world. Seriously. You're really dated. You're out of touch. You don't know what you're talking about. Goals are stats. Assists are stats. Minutes are stats. How fast you run our stats. How much you run our stats. The distance you cover. All that, those stats are important in contemporary football. And when I looked up Whisper stats, he has no stats to talk about. And I heard his manager in an interview today, somebody pointed me out to it. He was on Knockins TV, talking about a number of things, and he's trying to justify Whisper's inclusion. And last I said, what he said was really lying. It was like a conspiracy. No, he's a liar. He's a liar. And let me tell you why he's a liar. And it's disgusting when a grown person who have even certain reference in certain environment is a liar. Like the person in the White House. Grown-ass people should not be lied. I despise people who lie on a habitual basis. It's horrible. So, for example, here's why he lied. So I actually revisited the stats that he pointed out when he was comparing Whisper to Tyrese Hall. Please listen to this. This is very important. I can't hear me. Somebody said, turn up the mic. Mic, turn up enough. I can't hear me, people. Hold on, let me say something wrong. You know what happened, people? I messed up a little. Okay, this should be better. Can you hear me good now? Sorry, can you hear me good now? Let me know if you can hear me good now. Sorry about that. I think I was coming through my monitor versus my my Zoom mic. Okay, good. So I'm saying the person I call toxic boss is a liar. And it's not okay for adults to lie. I don't like adults who lie. I just don't think it's okay. It's like the president of the United States is a liar. Like a bitch. It's almost like the lie it's almost like the lie is innate. So I lie because I can, and it becomes natural for me. And here's my disappointment with YouTubers and traditional media who cover this space. Now, when the person come out with these numbers and this information, I don't hear anybody else challenging it. I don't hear anybody bringing them and say that doesn't make any sense. So let me point this out to you people. He compared Whisper stats of 9 goals and I think 2 assists to Tyrese Hall's. I think he said 6 and 2, but it's really 7 and 2 now because Tyrese had scored last weekend. And those stats seems pretty close, right? Whisper stats seem better, right? Would you guys agree that Whisper stats seem better? Whisper stats seem better. 9 and 2 versus 7 and 2. Correct? Whisper stats seem better. But I've always tell people this. Maybe it's the nature of the profession that I was in. It's very important. It's very important. I used to tell people when I used to work in corporate that I don't trust, I just verify information. If you give it to me, I'm going to trust you, I'm just going to verify it. Right? And here what the stats really say. Whisper, in the last 2 years, has been available to play about 40-something games. And repeat that. In the last 3 years, actually, not 2 years. Since 2023, Whisper has been available to play about 40-something games. And he's played about 28, 29, 27, 28 games. And in those 28, 29 games, the stats are not terrible. They're 9 goals and 2 assists. But here's what's important. The 9 goals and 2 assists is over a 3-year period. Let me repeat this, people. The 9 goals and 2 assists is over a 3-year period. 23-24, I think he had about 5 and maybe 2, or maybe 5 and 1. And then 25-26, he has 4, right? He ain't played no ball in 24-25 because injured. He had an ACL injury. 3 years, 9 and 2. You know what Tyrese Hall stats are over the 3 years? And part of his stats were under 18 for Whisper and then go under 21. Over that period, Tyrese Hall has played 117 games. He has scored 28 goals and 17 assists. So he has 42 goal contributions. That's the comparison. The comparison is not 9 and 2. Now you can say, well, Whisper only played 40 games, but he didn't play for 10 games for Leicester, or maybe 8 or 9 games for Leicester. He played like, and you're wrong about this, press him, just check it. He played about 25 minutes for Leicester so far this season. And he's been there for about 10 games. And why is this important? Because when we are denigrating people and belittling people, we're making comparison to create division and create divisiveness. At a minimum, the information should be accurate. And it was inaccurate. Now, it was inaccurate. He was lying to make his point. How do you compare somebody's stats over 3 years and you act as if it's 1 year and you leave out all that information? It's crazy. So anyway, I got frustrated reading that stuff and looking at it. I don't hear anybody bringing it up. No one do their research. They just take it as it is and think 9 and 7 seems comparable. They weren't comparable. Right? They weren't comparable. It's amazing the difference. One played 117 games. One was available for 40 something, played about 27, 28. One had 9 and 2. One had 28 and 17. And that's we comparing the 9 and 2 and the 7. So we're comparing 23 to 26 with 25-26. 23-26 for Whisper, 25-26 for Tyrese Hall. How is that a comparison? How is that a comparison? It's amazing what we do sometimes to justify the nonsense that we do. And then me hear my talk about saying he shouldn't be subject to the JFF requirements for licenses because he has his license and he should be grandfathered in like the soccer team because he has experience. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. I mentioned this the other day. He's a coach. And we both agreed that when we were growing up, the people who my coach soccer, them couldn't coach. We both agree, and he's a coach now, they could not coach. What they taught us was nonsense. So it's amazing we learned to play any semblance of good soccer at all. They weren't good. And the coaching in Jamaica ain't that good. It's improving, but it ain't that good. And here's another point, people. And this is for you, Rudolph. Come in, you watch the program enough. You know, see, now watch it. You have a criteria in your policy which stipulates that a player to be part of the a policy for selection, you have to have a contract with a top 20 club, right? Apart from being grandfathered in, which is nonsense, and apart from playing in a top 20 league, you have a contract with top 20 clubs. So let me ask another question, people. How many locally developed players who come out of Jamaica have contract with top 20 club? Let me repeat that. How many locally developed players over the last probably 20 years, 15 years, 10 years have had contracts with top 20 in a top 20 league, not top 20 club, top 20 league? How many of them? How many of them? So if the top 20 is the 6-7 league in Europe and MLS and a few more, how many have the top 20 league? When you go Serbia, you go play football. You go Russia, you go play football. That's how many places. Some of them are top 20 league. So how many players have we developed in Jamaica to even have that as a criteria? Please tell me, how many have we developed locally that have satisfy that criteria Take out the other two, because I'm a nonsense criteria, but top 20 league and grandfather and nonsense. Anybody who play against Martinique and play against Grenada at the other day, subject to be selected going forward because they've been grandfathered in. I think they're nonsense. You want to set policies which have some teeth to it, they're not on teeth. But anyway, I'll move on. I had to get those off my chest, actually. So them off of my chest. I can't breathe now. I can drink some water and breathe. Give me a second. Bless up, J. Ross. Sorry, by the way, the woman 100 meters. Oh, she stumbled. Sorry, people. It's very difficult to do this when you love track and field like me now. Very difficult to do this on a champs day. I don't know why I bring the finals then on Wednesday. I'm madness that. I'm going to get used to it. Anyway, now we're going to transition the conversation. By the way, I want to mize up the likes them as usual, but that's okay. I start beg for likes. I don't want to give me the likes. No, keep it. People. I have on a Real Madrid jersey. Kill me. Me, an Arsenal fan. I had it. If you didn't hear the beginning of the program, I have the jersey on because I bought it by mistake, and it's getting tight. I mean, I wear it out before me can't put it down no more. That's why I have on my jersey. I mean, like it. It look good. I like it. It fit me on my hat. Anyway, so there were 2 interviews conducted by Simon of 2 of the new players. So yesterday we played the one with Efron Mason Clark, and today we're gonna play the interview with Tyrese Hall and with Andre Brooks. Bless up, Michelle Gardner. How are you doing? Thanks for being here. Twain, Newton thing, Demarks, Van Nov 7, RR, talk about Real Madrid jersey. Real Madrid now in Champions League. I pick Barca. Bayern. Jam down football deal. Cranky played 53 minutes for Leicester so far, 12 minutes for KPR, 33%. No, that's not what transfer market has. So I'm going to look it up again. Maybe it was a League Cup game because I'm talking about regular. So maybe it's a League Cup. Let me go look that up, actually. But let's say not play it. Let's say play 90 minutes. But that's over 9 games, Football, the ideal. So I was on transfer market. Me have it in front of me. So let me look it up again. I have it on transfer market because I looked at it today, actually. He played 2 games in the championship. That's what I have. And one says 12 and one says 13. You have 25 minutes. Maybe you can tell me what game that is. Was it a cup game? I have him playing against Birmingham for 13 minutes and QPR for 12 minutes. I don't have the Southampton one, so maybe I'm missing that one. Maybe it was a cup game. Was it a FA Cup game? Because Southampton is actually they're in this quarterfinals, right? So maybe I missed that. Maybe it's a cup game. Okay, it's FA Cup. Okay, so I missed that. I just used the championship. So let's say he played 53 minutes, still less than 60. And Tyrese Hall played last time I checked, over this year, probably about 1,300 minutes or more. But anyway, I understand the call for Whisper. I like Whisper as a footballer. I would take Whisper to get better role models. Seriously. So let's go to the interviews. Simon talked to Tyrese Hall, and then he talked to so we can't find the interview. Then he spoke to, on the same interview, the same thread, he spoke to Andre Brooks. So let's do this. No, the Whisper Church, man beat me in my chat, in my comment section. I've never bring it out. They might beat me.
Now with us, Reggae Boyz midfielder Tyrese Hall. Tyrese, firstly, welcome to camp.
Before we play this, people, because that hurt my ears. Simon Preston, and JFF, we have to do better. Everything you do just not have professionalism. I mean, you can't barely hear the thing good. When you can't get some decent camera, and some decent audio, and some decent background. People can't even watch the thing and can't even listen to the thing. Even when they're down headquarters are the same nonsense.
And how's it been going so far?
I think it's been a lot of travelling. something I haven't done recently. But no, it's been an enjoyable experience. I've settled in well, so it's a good bunch of boys, so I'm enjoying it.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your background. Tell us about your Jamaican heritage. Who in your family was born on the island?
It's my dad's side. He's born in St. Thomas, Jamaica. That's where my grandma still lives to this day. And
Can you guys hear that good? It's hurting my ears, I'm gonna be honest. Let me know if you can hear it. The background is horrible. Let me know if you guys can hear it. We'll have to suffer through it because it's both it's both in the view. Hey, Cartuzo. Maybe it's Spanish in the right, you know. Me start reading, if it's Spanish, and I realize I'm Patoya. I realize I'm Patoya, all right, my youth. All right, we try this to it.
I go there loads of times, or during the off season, maybe over Christmas if I've got time off to go visit her as much as possible.
Of course, you've had a Jamaican passport for some time now. Of course, you mentioned in the post-season coming to Jamaica. Do you have memories as a kid coming to the island, or even recently as well, just being in Jamaica as well?
Yeah, no, loads of memories as a kid and growing up and coming back here year after year. I think the most recent time I went was 2023, so not too long ago. But yeah, loads of memories growing up, going to the seaside, swimming with my dad, even training there before pre-season. So yeah, loads of memories.
All right, on the pitch and the footballing side of things now, how have things been at Notts County and playing first team football for you?
It's been a big learning curve for me personally. It's my first season in men's football. I think started off a bit rough, not really getting too many minutes, and then kind of hit the ground running, started scoring a couple of goals, and then had a bit of a blip. But I think in the last couple of weeks I've been getting back into the flow of things and scoring. So it's been enjoyable at the same time. It's been a big learning curve for me.
And of course, being your parent club, Tottenham, where you've grown through the academy, would you say the first team game and also playing in the academy has prepared you well for where you are now in terms of professional football?
I think there's certain ways you can prepare yourself for men's football, but I think loads of people say the gap between academy football and men's football is bigger than much people would expect. So I think there's certain ways you can prepare for it, but I think the only real way to learn it is to dive right into the deep end, really.
You, of course, are a midfielder. Were you always a midfielder growing up, or you played other positions as well?
No, I was a striker up until I was around 15, and then one of the coaches at Tottenham put me into midfield. So I've always wanted to be a midfielder, but I think he gave me the chance to play midfield, and it's kind of just stuck with me from there.
And now being in that area of the pitch, how much are you relishing it, so to speak, or enjoying it?
No, I love it. I think any midfielder will tell you that they love playing midfield. They probably get the most of the ball throughout the game, and you kind of get to dictate how the game goes. I think that's the type of player I am, so I enjoy it.
Now, in relation to Jamaica, as you know, previously in 2025, you'd been on provisional lists for camps, but to be here in camp, what are your thoughts, your emotions about being in camp?
I think it's obviously a massive achievement for me and my family to be called up to the senior team. Been something I've been dreaming of for the last couple of years. And to play for Jamaica, I know my grandma will be proud of me. So to make her proud is a happy thing to me.
You landed in Jamaica roughly Sunday night, had first training session under your belt as well. How was that for you?
I think every time I come to Jamaica, landing at the airport, driving down that long road from the airport, it's hard to forget. But even the first training session, it's a good bunch of boys, so the vibes are high, spirits high, and I think we've all got the same goal in our heads, and it's to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, for you personally, you know how important this camp is. You know exactly what is needed from everyone involved. How much are you looking forward to Thursday and what lies ahead?
I'm looking forward to it a lot. Hopefully I can get my debut in one of those two games. Obviously, again, it'll be a massive achievement, but at the same time, we're a group here and we're all striving towards the same thing, and that's the World Cup.
Thank you very much, Ty. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So we're joined with
So that was Tyrese Hall, and you hear Simon said that Tyrese has had his papers for a long time. I mentioned numerous times Tyrese was supposed to be part of the under-20 team that lost 2 years ago, but he wasn't brought in. So he has been naturalized a while ago. And he also talks about how frequently he's gone to Jamaica. I don't know too many English people who are that young go to Jamaica frequently. So it's far and it's expensive. So when people, and everybody, and I like America, they're just next door, like Florida, they are next door. It's a lot different, a lot more challenging to travel from the UK to Jamaica.
Reggae Boyz.
So this is now Andre Brooks, who plays for Sheffield. He plays right wing. He plays attacking midfield. He can also play the 8. And I expect him to play the 8 for Jamaica.
Midfielder, Andre Brooks. Andre, welcome to camp. And how are things going so far? Settling in?
Yeah, I think all the boys have been quite settled in, to be fair. So I'm going to ask for literally a better welcome.
All right, talk to us a little bit about your Jamaican heritage. When your family was born on the island?
Obviously, my nan and grandma were both born here. I don't actually know where my granddad's from. Both my nan, she was from Kingston, Islington, St Mary's. And obviously I've got family over there, so yeah.
And recently getting your Jamaican citizenship and passport, tell us about that emotion, about being naturalized.
It's been going on for quite a while, for about 2 years. So to finally have it done is just a proud moment for me, honestly, my family as well, to be able to play for the Reggae Boyz.
And of course, being able to get the call up and now being in camp now, your thoughts and emotions as we're heading to this week of camp.
We've got a plan. I mean, we've got to achieve what we need to achieve. So hopefully we can do that by the end of the camp. And yeah.
Club-wise, it was a difficult start to the season, but the way how things have progressed, things are on the up. How would you say the season has been going so far, club-wise?
On a personal note, it's been good. Obviously, as you know, the start of the season wasn't very good. Obviously, the manager getting sacked and the whole guy for coming back. And when he came back, he was good. So, yeah, I feel like we haven't achieved what we wanted to achieve this season, but obviously still 7 games to go. So hopefully we could achieve what we need to achieve.
Back with Jamaica for a bit. I had the opportunity to train with everyone today. What was that experience like, getting to know the players, the staff, everybody?
As I said, everyone was quite welcoming, even the staff. And obviously, I know some of the guys here already, so obviously it's been good. Everyone's good, technical players, so hopefully we can achieve what we need to achieve.
Yeah, Andre, and you know what this camp means. You know what we need to do to achieve what we have to qualify. How much you're looking forward to this upcoming camp?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to making my debut. If it's on Thursday or obviously the Monday game. And yeah, can't wait to get started.
Thank you very much, Andre. Appreciate that.
So that was Andre Brooks, and that was Simon Preston, the JFA press officer, our head of the media department. So we heard Tyrese, we heard Andre, but I think what we heard from Andre was that the process to achieve his naturalization took 2 years. I find that interesting though, because I think when I did it took 4 months. I'm not sure why. But I think I shouldn't say I don't know why. I understand why, actually, especially if you're a player trying to go through and the JFF is not helping you. And you got to go down to London to go file with the office there, and they send you around in a circle. I've talked about this a number of times. Whether or not the JFF want to bring diaspora players in, they have to find a way to make the process easier and not as prohibitive as it is. Because people get discouraged. Think about it, you're trying to play for an organization, and it takes 2 years. So say you're trying to get a transfer to Arsenal from Lille or from Marseille, and take 2 years for the transfer to go through. Does that make any sense to anybody? Why is it taking so long to get these things done? It's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's how the process is. And people complain about, we heard McLaren says that the young kids should want to play for England and should play for England. And yet we've seen Tyrese Hall at 20. We see Andre Brooks at 22. And even Mason Clark at 25, 26 coming to play for us. And they're very good players. And I'm sure one or two of them could even have the potential to play for England if their game continued to improve. And there are more of them, actually, a number more of them who would love to come and represent the country, but are being restricted from doing so, either based on our quota or the prohibitive naturalization process. Yeah. Cranky, were able to start school in Jamaica without it? Tell you the truth, people, I had no idea I wasn't Jamaican. Boring. Not boring, but I didn't. In the old days, it was different. I'm seasoned people. It was like this, where everybody's parochial about naturalization and how things should work. And when I came to the US, it was easy to come to the US. It's not like now where people don't want you to come here. So when I lived in Jamaica, I didn't have a passport until I came to the US. So I got my British passport when I came to the US. So I had one when I went to Jamaica from the UK, but that one expired and I didn't really get one. But when you go to school in Jamaica, I have cousins who moved back from England to Jamaica. I had cousins who lived with me, 4 of them. I had another set of cousins who lived close by, and they all came back. Their parents, people who used to go to England, make their money, build their nice house, and come to Jamaica and live. That's how my family was. So, you need to think about papers. Nobody asks for papers when you go to high school. They ask your birth certificate. It says English. Nobody say, well, you got to have a Jamaican thing. It's not like now how it is, actually. And even here in the US, you can go to school without those papers. So, yeah, it's different. It's different. So we've gone through that interview. Now, there was another interview I came across. Well, no, I didn't come across. Somebody sent it to me because I want to send me everything on my app. So I want to thank everyone who listened to my channel for keeping me abreast of what's transpiring in the environment. I'm trying to find. So I got it. What's happening? Whether it's what's happening in Jamaica, what's happening in the US, anywhere in the world, Jamaicans are following the Reggae Boyz or sports. No matter where the players are, they find them. They find videos of where the administration is, and they send them to me. And then I look at them and say, well, should I talk about these? So there was an interview done on ESPN, and Shamar Thomas who is the captain of Jamaica and played quite a bit of Jamaica, and he's now a coach, was part of the panel, and they were talking about Jamaica's upcoming qualification. So let me play that, and then we can discuss it. But just in terms of Brooks and Tyrese interview, you can see that the kids want to play for Jamaica. You can see that they are happy being here. You can see that they, as McLaren would say, they like the vibes. And you can see that when you decide so young, it's not like a Ramsey at Newcastle who says, I want to wait. If you're Tyrese Hall, you haven't even started your career yet, and you commit to playing for Jamaica. And you know that when you get cap, he's 20 now. If he gets 3 cap before he's 21, or by 21, he's capped for life. So we need to show a bit of appreciation and love for the kid. Now, this whole concept of diaspora, players committing, it's a big deal globally. I saw today where I think a kid who plays for Augsburg in I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name. In Germany, who played youth football. He was born in Honolulu, so he's the US. Lived in Germany since he was 8, and played youth football for America, but now is wavering as to should he commit to the US or wait for Germany. 6 foot plus center back. US want him. He got called by Pochettino. He turned on the call, and Landon Donovan saying he should go away. He shouldn't play for the US. He should stay where he is. He's very upset about him turning on the US. Right? He say if you get called, you should come play for the US. Well, the kid is saying, I'm not sure I want to play for you. But this is not unique. We hear the same thing with Nigeria, the Cuss diaspora, same thing with Ghana. So this is a global phenomenon. It's not unique to Jamaica. But I think we could be an example in embracing those of our heritage. And when they come in, we support them versus, being divisive. Doesn't mean we can't criticize them. In fact, I embrace criticizing them if they don't play well. If they play well, they get their flowers like everybody else. If they don't play well, they get criticism. That's life. If they were anywhere there playing football, that's how it would be. But anyway, let's go to this interview. I don't remember I the other two gentlemen in the video, but Shamar is on the right, are on your left, my right, your left. He ain't playing. I know he ain't playing. I hope he doesn't. Okay.
It was 78 days to go until the World Cup. We put our World Cup spotlight on Jamaica, and rightfully so, as they enter the Intercontinental playoffs. The Reggae Boyz are looking to seek qualification for their second ever World Cup after their debut in '98. Who could forget the infamous gold and green celebrated on...
But as I said, ESPN, no, it's actually CBS, Calazo. It's affiliate of CBS, the main CBS station.
World stage. They stumbled in CONCACAF, though, losing automatic qualification for 26. Of course, the Curacao, and then there's an opportunity now for redemption as they're led by their captain and goalkeeper, of course, Andre Blake. And there's a chance to change at the helm. Of course, a new interim head coach as well, Rudolph Speed, who comes in to replace Steve McLaren in the last couple of months. And it's going to be a challenge because they must beat New Caledonia, as they now are likely to qualify as they take on DR Congo, qualify for the World Cup. And I love this opportunity because now we can bring in someone who understands what it means to represent the gold and green, and obviously the whole of the Caribbean. There's another Caribbean here, Shamar Thomas. And former teammates, by the way. I love this. I'm learning new things within this segment the whole time. Shamar, thank you so much for giving us a spotlight, first of all, on the club team, and now we get to talk about the national team. Just talk about what it means if Jamaica were to make their second ever World Cup, because '98 felt like the whole world froze.
I mean, first of all, thanks for having me here. Also, I mean, for us the World Cup to be in the US and we're not in it, it's sort of a setback. It will set the program back, I would say, maybe 4 years, another generation. So for us to make it, it's massive.
I'm going to talk bigger picture before we get into New Caledonia and the results that you think might happen. What it would mean for the infrastructure in Jamaica, right? From the youth programs up, right? World Cups have been a springboard for an awful lot of countries. Talk about what this would be like in Jamaica.
I mean, it will bring, clubs coming in, to scout young players, giving young players opportunity, and also a lot of coaches to come in and help to develop players. So it's massive.
So interesting, looking at your international career, you understand what it means to be a leader, be a captain. Caribbean Championships, you captained in 2010 in Martinique. I want to know what words you would say if you were in that changing room right now, just to keep them focused on the task at hand.
I mean, it's really simple. Everyone should know why they're there, why they're wearing the shirt. That's first and foremost. And then every time we go on the field, what we need to do. We're representing the country. The spirit of our nation is unquestionable. So they just need to go out there and show that.
Shamar, talk about the state of this team right now, right? JD mentioned the managerial change at a really odd time, in a really odd moment, right? Tough at this point. You got Leon Bailey coming back after 8 months. Just the overall state of this group going into what we might be able to call the most important game in recent history for Jamaica.
I'm not too worried about the coaching change because, in Rudolph Speed, you have a coach that knows the players. He's Jamaican. He knows what it takes and what he needs to do. But I will also put a lot of responsibility at the feet of the captain and the leaders in the group. They need to step up. They need to let all the guys know, hey, we're pulling this thing along. This is very important to not just you guys as individuals, but to the nation.
I want to speak to that because if you don't know, Jamaicans are very proud. If you don't know a Jamaican, they'll let you know they're Jamaican, right? Through. But what it means in terms of the pride, representing the country, leading on the forefront, we see it definitely in athletics, but what could it mean in terms of for the footballing community and watching these guys here?
For me, when I go on the field, I always think about the next kid that's watching me or the next kid that's coming up. So I have to go out there and I have to show that. I have to perform. So if I now get a contract overseas, it also helps the team that's getting me to go back and say, okay, maybe we can go back to Jamaica. They have another center back as Shamar Thomas. So now it's massive in every aspect of the game and in sports.
This group missed out. They needed one more goal. They would have qualified automatically, right? Curacao goes in. I feel like over, the past decade, maybe 2 decades, I've always wanted more from Jamaica, right? I've always felt like there was more in the tank, right? They were better than the results showed. For you now, having been on the outside a little bit, although you have a little bit of institutional knowledge in there, have you had that feeling as well that sometimes this Jamaican side just didn't get where we thought they could?
100%. 100%. I was at the game against Curacao, and I felt like everything was set up for the team to just go out there and play and give it their all. It was a moment where the country was coming out of the storm, Melissa, and the stadium was packed. They had the support. So I was mostly disappointed with the effort, because playing in the office is massive.
Not easy.
It's not easy for opponents. So if they come with that intensity and that level of commitment, I think they would have qualified from then. But God forbid we have another chance, and I think we will go past New Caledonia tomorrow, and then play to our strengths against DR Congo.
What are those strengths? When you say play to the strengths, you were to highlight what are the Jamaican strengths. I know you're watching it from a coaching perspective and now obviously a former player. What are the strengths?
Our strengths is get numbers behind the ball and play on the counter-attack. We have speed up front, a lot of guys that can run, 1v1 ability, and then, just get numbers behind the ball and get our chances, take our chances.
Be clinical.
Leon Bailey coming back. How massive is that for this group?
He's a big player. And he can show up for the big moments. This is a big moment. With his ability, 1v1, going to goal, getting fouls in and around the box, we need that. Now it's just for him to come out there and lead from the front.
And when you talk about this change in managerial, like you said, Rudolph understands the squad. He very much has been a part of this coaching setup for a while. So what do you expect him to bring now? And arguably the biggest game in what's been the turn of the century in Jamaican history.
It's simple. Just remind the players what they're playing for. That's all he needs to do.
I want to hear more about you two.
Hold on. You're now a manager, right? I'm going to put you in Speed's shoes, right? Rudolph Speed. What's the last thing you say before those guys leave the dressing room?
The last thing I'll say, hey, remember your national heroes.
Remember your national heroes.
And then do you want to become one?
Whew. I like this.
Mic drop. Drop the mic.
So what's the prediction? We need the prediction. What's the prediction? How's it going to play out? You ready to give me the confidence against
I'm
New
going to be
Caledonia?
very biased. New Caledonia, yes, we're going to get by that. And then DR Congo, our distant relatives.
Facts.
It's going to be a tough game, but we're going to come out on top.
Distant relatives come together. Also, before we go, I want to hear about this relationship. What was this? He's smiling because I was watching you two in the last segment, and it seems like you were reflecting on what he was like as a team.
No,
I want to hear his version first.
He's my captain, right? I played in front of him, so a lot of shouting, "Hey, Shamar, Shamar!" But that was good, man. You probably have the longest shutout streak in front of with my defense in front of him.
Yeah, that's right.
So pay homage to that.
Got any words you want to say? Just to shout him.
My man, when he got his body on you, you weren't getting by him. I can tell you that. If you did, I could tell you where you were going to be.
You might as well join the cast at this point, because Michael LaHood's a teammate of yours as well.
Michael LaHood.
Okay.
My good friend Jimmy Conrad sent me a message.
Yo, I like this. Look at the fresh face.
Yeah.
Look at Mike LaHood.
Michael was a rookie, so yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have Chivas on your resume.
Yes.
Not too many guys have that. Oh, look,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And myself.
All right, that's it. They stopped talking about Jamaica football. They're talking about other stuff. They're reminiscing on past time they played together. So you hear those three interviews. The last one with Shamar Thomas, who captained Jamaica, as I said before, and who expressed some optimism about the outcome. He wasn't as confident against DR Congo as he is against New Caledonia. He did say distant relative, very distant. If you say Ghanaian or even Nigerian, I'd probably think it'd be closer. But I don't think DR Congo was one of those places, actually. But no, it was a good discussion. I think there seems to be almost a consensus amongst either former players or coaches that our strength is counter-attacking football or transition football. I want people to walk me through where does he have sort of played that per se, apart from against Trinidad, where we scored, and that was in a sort of transition mode when Sifa scored. I don't remember that being a staple diet for us in terms of how we played in the last 7-8 years. So I'm not sure where that narrative has come from. I think we have tried to, there seemed to be a view by some coaches and a lot of ex-players that we need to go back to a time where we allow the team to have the ball and then we, quote unquote, as they call it, counterattack, or we transition quickly and try to score because we have all this speed. I don't know if speed is the coach or speed is how fast you run, but whatever it is, I don't see it in any game. So I don't see any speed birds on this team apart from Cephas. None. So I'm not buying that speed stuff. To me, it's not realistic. I think we have some players in the team now. I think Andre Brooks is a good player. I think Mason Clark is a very good player. Hayden can hold his own. So in the middle of the park, we're okay. We'll see what Bailey does. Shavar sort of skirted the Bailey question, though, in a very cute way. It was a brilliant answer, actually. Because for most Jamaicans, they would probably say he hasn't produced for the national team at the level expected. And therefore, now is the time for him to step up. But we've been saying that for the longest. But hopefully, he has one of his better games. He's not been in the best of form for the last 2 years. Now is the time, optimum time, for him to try to show up in both games. To me, he will play and probably should play. But we'll see how that works out. Right? I don't think speed going to matter against Congo. I think they're just probably more physical than us, physically imposing. They're very structured and good defensively. So we have to find ways to break them down. Yeah, speed is happening right now on my TV. That's where the speed is, not on Jamaica football field at all. Now, I think part of tonight, we should touch upon New Caledonia a little bit. I watched them play in some videos, and I know that they have recruited some new players. I know one of those players is a former French junior international. I don't know all their players. I also pulled up their qualification stuff. So if you look at their qualification, let me put this up. They played out in what I call Oceania. You see that they had 2 zones. They're ranked 150, but that means nothing to us because we struggle with St. Vincent and BVI, who are ranked in the same bucket, in the same 100 and enough, and we still struggle with them. So not sure that means anything. Their main competitor, as you can see from the 8 teams, normally New Zealand. Last time New Zealand played them, they beat them 3-0, but scored in the 60th minute. And they have beaten New Zealand in the past. But they won their zone. I think they beat Fiji and Solomon Islands and then drew it. They drew with Fiji and beat Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. And then they played the winner off Group B with New Zealand. New Zealand beat them. So then they had to go to the playoffs to get there. So it's an easier route than Jamaica has taken. I mean, Jamaica had to play a whole bunch of games before then the last round of qualifiers. They have to beat a bunch of people who can't play football, and then they lost to New Zealand. So now they get to be in this game, and if we beat them, then we have the mighty DR Congo waiting for us. But as you can see, they didn't score a lot of goals. I mean, they scored 7 goals in 3 games against teams that are not that great, and then New Zealand beat them. So it's not even the greatest in terms of what the numbers are. And if you look at the setup now for this zone is New Caledonia will play us, and then they're going to play Congo, and then you have the Bolivia, Suriname. I'm always thinking, which would I prefer to be in? Would I prefer to play Bolivia, then Iraq? Or would I prefer to play New Caledonia, then Congo? I thought it interesting. I think Bolivia is a tough game, and Iraq is a tough game. So maybe we got the easier of the two. And it's based on ranking. Congo, I think, is ranked 48. We are ranked 70. And that's the sort of rationale for this whole setup. So we'll see what happens, but it should be interesting. Cranky, Congo only beat Bermuda 2-0. Did the full Congo team play? I wonder why they play Bermuda. I would think if I was Congo, I probably want to play Trinidad versus Bermuda. I never understand that actually when they say they play Bermuda. Because Bermuda ain't that good. Yeah, and did they play the entire team? Did Wissa and all those players play? I bet that some of those players probably didn't play. I bet Wan-Bissaka and all them didn't play because they're probably trying to recover and make sure they're fit and not overextended for our game. Look at the starting 11 and tell me. Wissa scored? Okay. He's not playing a lot for Newcastle, so. But it's a good sign then. Oh, he scored. Okay. It's a good sign then if they played all their team and they only won 2-0. Then again, today's Wednesday, isn't it? So they had to fly here. And they just finished playing Saturday, some of them. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Look, we have a chance. Question: how big is the chance? And who we pick. So let's go back again and talk about this, which is this is the squad. This is the squad. The squad is done, is here. We have 4 JPL players, and these are all the players. So what we want to do tonight is talk about strategy, which is what strategy should we employ against New Caledonia? And we won't skip and get to DR Congo because we're not playing DR Congo tomorrow. We're playing New Caledonia. Right? So what strategy we employ against them? I would assume that given that we're probably the more technical team, that they would probably try to play a low block and counter us. And we would find ways to break them down. By the way, I just saw Douglas run 10.94. She's a special athlete. Shania Douglas, really good runner. Sorry, people, I'm a track and field fan also. So it'd be interesting, actually. I'm trying to multitask here. It'd be interesting to see. What they do and what Rudolph decided to do. I hope we don't go with this no counter-attacking nonsense against New Caledonia. So we scored a penalty, okay. Or they played in Guadalajara. That's interesting. So Congo is getting themselves ready and preparing and getting used to the above sea level, the environment. They're trying to get acclimated as quickly as possible. Since they don't play in this region. Champs is going on right now. If you didn't know, big head boy. Champs is going on. And KC throwing away points. So no, it's going to be very interesting what team he picks. And we'll pick our team tonight in a tomorrow game. It's going to be interesting what team he picks, what's the starting 11, and what the style of play is. I have heard nothing about what strategy we're going to employ. I get this sense from hearing everybody talk like Blake and Shamar and all of that the strategy against Congo will be different from New Caledonia. We have players in our team who want to play football. Right? We have players in our team, Tyrese Campbell want to play football. Mason Clark want to play football. Andre Brooks want to play football. Hayden want to play football. Bailey wants to play football. Most of them want to play football. They don't want to just play low block and then, especially Bailey, he ain't playing no low block, and then try to counter. I don't think we'd have to do that against New Caledonia, but I would think that we may have to have a hybrid strategy against Congo. Now, what was noticeable, if you guys watched the JFF video where they were showing the players playing in small spaces, they had men in the middle and playing the ball around and trying to do two-touch, even though I see Bailey dribbling. When I'm dribbling on a bucket, dribbling when I do two-touch. They seem they were doing press and counter-press, right? So I think they're going to be aggressive and try to swarm over New Caledonia and try to pressure them. Now, let's hope they can withstand pressuring a team for more than 10 minutes. But I get the sense there'll be a lot of pressure on the ball to win it back high up the field and then try to score. I get that sense. Now, when you do that, you have to be confident in your center backs, because if you press high and they're left one-on-one, it becomes a problem. Man, stop picking them team early. See, Michael Uber not picking team. So let's go to the team picking. That was a good part of what we're going to do. But I don't think there's a ton of strategy to be considered for New Caledonia. I would think that New Caledonia we got to try to break them down. They may go mid-block or low block, I would assume, even though they have recruited a number of players who play in probably second and third division in the French league. We will have to think about how we can get the ball in spaces and areas where we can pressure them and we can be dangerous, where we can score. Yeah, I think they're going to do high press, actually. The way they were playing, it suggests that, right? They're very aggressive in in how they were going about it. And Coley was the one, as I would expect. Miguel Coley was running the session, so not surprising actually. But I think they're going to be very aggressive, at least against New Caledonia. I wouldn't be surprised if the strategy against Congo is a little bit different. You sort of be more compact, maybe give them some flexibility on the wing, but make sure in the middle you're very, very compact and you're hard to break down. And the question is who done starts, because it's not like we have any speed merchants on the field. Yes, Flash G. When he was walking down, in fact, it was before the session even started, actually. When Coley asked him to walk down where they were all lining up, he was grabbing his hamstring for the entire walking down. But then he released it when he got in line, as if he was okay. So, but good observation on your part, Flash G. He was holding it for quite a bit. He was grabbing it and letting it go, grabbing it. And then when he went to the line, to line up and face a certain direction, because they had 4 or so rows doing different variational exercises, he had let it go. So I'm not sure if he's okay, but yeah. I don't think he's going to start anyway, but we never know. Regardless of where he start, we need him healthy. I think he's going to contribute in the 2 games or in at least one of the 2 games. Yeah, the hamstring grabbing was obvious, actually. But it should be interesting. So I think I saw someone put it. So Michael has put his team up, and he wants Blake, Bell, Pinnock, King, Latti, Hayden, Brooks, Bailey, Mason Clark, Caramarty, and Tyrese Campbell. That's a very good team. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build that team and put it up. So let me go back to what you have. I think I had a team up on the board. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to try to put your team up. And then what I will do is I want you to put your team up at some point, if I can get it up. It's already up anyway, but I'm going to do it more in an official capacity. So let's see. I'm going to put up a team. I'll move this. Share screen. All right, so let me put your team up now. Let me see if I can expand this up. So your team has Blake, Bell, Pinnock. You have King. So let me change this. Richard. So you have King instead of low. Then you have King. You have Latti, Hayden, Brooks, Bailey, Mason Clark Campbell, and you have Bailey, Cadamarti. All right, so this is your team, right? Michael, that's your team. So you guys rate Michael's team, please. Rate Michael's team. Rate Michael's team. It's a good team, actually. Yeah, I think I had one on the board before I was playing with it today. Is this too wide? So people, give me a score now out of 10. 1 out of 10. Give me a score. Give me a score out of 10, people. From grade to 1 to 10, how do you rate this team? You say, Big Ed says 8.5. Garrett says 8.8. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me see here. Let me go back. You're getting great scores. Triple E says 9. Michael says 9. DJ says 9. Sean says 9. Garth says 9. So this is the starting team then. Oh. Because Colin Quest says he's going to give you 5 because King should be out. He doesn't believe King should be in the team. And then Jay Bass said he would play King, he'll play Brooks at 10. So who you going to play in the 8 then if you're going to play Brooks at 10? So give me your team. Zebev says 10. Juiceman says 10. Duvon says 10. Says 8. So people like this team. It's not a bad team, you know. The question is it Karamarti or Jamal Lowe who's playing more football? Karamarti doesn't play much football. And is it King or Pinnock? So that means you guys like Bailey in the 10 then. You guys like Bailey in the 10. DJ says change to 8. Okay. So people recognize that King is in there and they want to... so, might give 5. I'm bringing up King. And people say start changing. I don't realize that King is in the starting team. Joseph says, why all of a sudden we think Bailey can play 10 Cam? Why all of a sudden you think Bailey can play anywhere else but Cam? We need help. We need people on the wing who can play defense. Bailey ain't play no defense. You need to hide Bailey defensively. You need to hide Bailey defensively and then hopefully get some offense out of him. Period. I don't see him playing anywhere else apart from Cam. Put him on the wing, you're going to stress Lati. We don't want that. Leighton says, I like the team, but King has to come out for me. No time for that attitude. So let's change King. So if you want to change King, who are we putting in? Damian Lowe? So you put in Damian Lowe. So is this team good or we take out Karamarti too? Why is Bailey playing Cam? Because that's what the man had him as a Cam. Who are you going to put in the Cam if not Bailey? The team is balanced with Bailey as a Cam, you know. You got wingers who have decent speed and ability. You have wingers who play both ways. You have Bailey who don't play defense. You got to play him in a place where he's not going to hurt you defensively and he can help you offensively. That's how it is. Right? Well, no, it's not how it works, though. He just doesn't play defense. It's not part of his repertoire. That's not what he does. Damian Lowe, no one is available now. Lati, I think they probably... It's going to be interesting what we do if we get Boston New Caledonia and play Congo, because do you then put Ian Frey at right back and put Lati in the middle with Pinnock? Because to me, that's our best center half pairing and take more risk on the wing than in the middle of the park? That's the question. DJ saying 9 now. Yeah, I mean, so you guys want Karamarti to start versus Lowe or vice versa? Versus Jamal Lowe? How do you guys view that? Latia right and Frey at right back. Yeah. Frey's slow though, isn't he? Frey's not the quickest, so I don't know how that works. So Jordan says Blake, Pinnock, King, Webster, Lati, Hayden. Oh Lord. So you're putting Webster in. You'll get beaten, you know. We can't tell the team that people I'm loving it. I mean, I think other team, yeah. What the hell is K Shandija? What the hell is that? I don't even know that team. Let me see that team again. So you have Blake, King, Pinnock, Webster, Lati, Hayden, Hall. Oh. So you have Tyrese. I don't think Tyrese is going to start, though. Tyrese Hall, Brooks at Cam. So if you put in Brooks at Cam, when you're playing Hall, Hall is a Cam. And I think, and then Bailey, you're going to move Bailey over here. Leon Bailey on the right. And who you have up front? Karamarti, Clark. So this is Jordan Houghton's team. He's benching Bell. And he's benching Tyrese Campbell. And He's putting Tyrese Hall in. It's not a terrible team. He's putting Tyrese Hall in. Guys, rate this team. You know the good thing about this, though, when I think about it? We have options. At a minimum, it's not a team where, this is the 11, the bench is not good enough. What I'm hearing is that we have option. Right? If you're saying a alternate team is good as well, then you're saying you like or you love the alternates or the subs. You got to rate this team first and foremost. So Big Ed, what up, Big Ed? Come rate this team, people, rate this team. Rate Jordan's team. I think the previous team got a lot of 9s and 8s. We took King out. This team doesn't have King, it has Low. No, it has King. So I need to change this. This has King, actually. When a player divides opinion, it's very interesting. King divides opinion. King truly divides opinion, people. Half the people support King, half the people don't support King. And I bet all the 7s and 8s I'm seeing, so Peter is saying 8, Michael is saying 8, Gary is saying 7.5. I bet if I change King, the numbers change. Mara saying 8, Natty saying 8, Kirk love Kings, he's saying 10. I bet if I change King, people would love that. Not sure about Webster. Urquhart said, Bailey's by far the best player in Jamaica. What does that mean? Bailey's by far the best player in Jamaica? I don't even know what that means. You mean the best Jamaican player or the best player on the Reggae Boyz? Because sometimes we say Jamaica, we talk about locally born versus just a player who is a citizen of Jamaica, and therefore, if he's born overseas, it shouldn't matter. Atkins Mine said, this camp has been an improvement. The bench quality is stocked. Usually we have a weak bench, but we're stocked. Even with 4 JPL players, we're stocked, isn't it? Here's what's different about this that you guys don't realize. In previous teams, we had no midfield. In every window that we had limited midfield. Right? We may have Palmer, but Palmer was injured. We may have Hayden, but Hayden had yellow card. We may have Freya to this extent, but Freya have yellow card. Now we have options in midfield. Right? And we don't even have Anglin, because I think Speed dropped Anglin, who was obviously a locally born player. We don't have John Russell, but we don't really miss John Russell because he wasn't playing that well. So Brooks coming in, and Brooks is in form. What we have is the new recruits come in, have played a lot of minutes. Tyrese Hall has played over 1,300 minutes. So has Mason Clark. So has Brooks. Mason Clark has 7 goals, 7 assists this season in 30-something games. Brooks, I think, has 6 goals and 4 assists in similar games. And Hall has 7 goals and 2 assists. So the players we have brought in have stats in terms of how far they have run, how much they have run, the speed they have run, and the goal and assist contributions and overall play to justify why they should be here. And also part of that whole dynamics and equation is that we can see them fitting into the team, especially in the midfield area, which is where we have a lot of deficiencies. So we've gone from a very weakness to something that's now okay, because I think we still have a backup of Pinnock. I'm sorry for Hayden. So we're not perfect there, but I guess someone like a K.R. Anderson may be considered a 6. But Rudolph has done a job that should have been done, which is balance out the team. Don't overload it in any one given area. So let's see another team. This is Jermaine's team. Jermaine says Blake, Bell, Amari Bell. So we've seen some division. So not everybody rates Amari Bell, It's interesting. I don't know why. Amari Bell sometimes struggle to come up here, All right, let me try to do this. I don't know why it's not coming up. I guess it's 2 eyes, actually. So we have Blake, Bell, Pinnock, Lati, I don't understand the team, you know. We are, you know, Mr. Defender, Bobby. So Bobby Reed, play right back. So is this how you're doing it? Give me something. Are you saying Bobby, I play right back? Must be. You can't tell me. Tell me, Jeremy, I'm trying to interpret your team. So Bobby playing right back. Then you have Brooks, Hayden, Clark, Bailey. Is that Leon Bailey or Bailey Catamardi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I assume it's Leon Bailey you're talking about. So we're going to change this to Leon Bailey. And then we're going to change this to Tyrese Campbell. What we're seeing here is though, wrong Tyrese. By the way, that other Tyrese also wants to come, is my understanding. So we have 3 Tyrese for the team if he does come. The Tyrese that plays for Sheffield, plays center forward for Sheffield, it's my understanding he also wants to come. He was being talked about for a year and a half now, actually, or over a year. You guys know Tyrese Campbell that plays for Sheffield? But his is Tyr. It's spelled a bit different than the Tyrese that plays for Charlton. So this is Jermaine's team. I'll put up one more team after this. And so we have Blake, Bell, Pinnock, Latti, Bobby. Yep. 2 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of Tyrese, actually. We have 2 in this team, and there's another one that plays for Sheffield. He's a good player, by the way. They almost made the Premier League last year, right? They got knocked out by Sunderland, actually. They should have won that game. And Tyrese played. He's tall, light-skinned, center forward. He's a good player. He's a good player. Big Ed said this is 10. So what's your score for this team? I suggested playing Bobby Reed at right back, you know. So you get offense out of him and you get defense. This is a very good team, actually. What do you guys think of this team? This is probably the more balanced team we've had. The center halves are one of the center halves is in form. It's a good team. Oh, Lord. And it's a 5. Why is it a 5? I don't agree with that. What's the obsession of Brooks in the midfield? Because we ain't got nobody else in the midfield. I don't want Bobby in my midfield. Bobby don't have enough skills to play midfield for me. I want somebody who can run all day and who got skills. And I know Brooks play a lot on the right, but he can also play in the 8. Okay, Bailey can play midfield for you. Okay, I understand that. He can't play a wing either, so I'm going to up with him. I know you put him. Juice Man say 8, Banjo 6.5. What else you guys like about this team? I'm curious. You don't like Bobby at right back? Or you don't like Bailey in the 10? Which is it? Okay, everything else looks fine to me. Why Ricardo? Why a solid 5? Why are you calling this team a solid 5, Ricardo? Give me your logic and your rationale for it being a 5. And by the way, people, let me open up the line if you don't want to call in. The phone line is open. Why are you giving that 5? I thought the stadium would be closed down by now for the track and field, but it's still up. Bobby Reed can play right back. Yeah, he can play right back. He's played everywhere for Leicester. And for Fulham. Say Hall is way better up front. Yeah, Hall may be on the bench actually. Is that Bailey cousin on the thumbnail? Well, I had to give him an expression on his face, and it was hard to do that, so I had to be creative. Let me just tell you something, because I'm going to answer certain things. I was told Bailey going to play the cam. About 3 weeks now, I was told this. Let me say this again. It may not be the case, but I was told Bailey going to play attacking midfield 3 weeks ago. Let's see if it materializes that way. They can always change their mind, but that's how it was told. So Those of you who say Bailey can't play midfield, him can't do that. You may be right, but I was told he's going to play midfield 3 weeks ago, so we'll see if that happens. I'll tend not drop down Bailey. Yeah. Yeah, we put Brooks in the same position. Who's going to play the 8? All right, people, if you're going to criticize what's there, give me an alternative. Give me your team. That would be the best way. Give me your team. So if you're saying put Brooks on the right, which is basically almost right wing, then who plays in the 8? Brooks should play right center mid since he left-footed. Yeah. We're playing a double pivot, people, or a 8 and a 4. We're not playing a 4-3-3. We're playing a 4-2-3-1. All right. Let me get to my copy. Let me do this. And this, so okay. So here's what I'm curious about, because most times when Jamaica picks its team to play these games, we're pretty comfortable with the starting team. We may struggle at center back. Is it Pinnock, King, or Low? But when Lambakisa was here, for example, and the rest of the team was here, it was easy to pick. Bobby would play the 8. Lambakisa play right back. It wasn't hard to pick the team. At least it didn't seem that way. But now it seems much more difficult, which is a good thing, just because when you have that situation, it means that you have options. And it's always good to have options. Now, I know that when I looked at Brooks playing, most of the game he plays at right, we call it right midfield or right wing, right? But he also plays the cam, and he also plays the 8. So I think he's versatile. I do like my wingers to play defense, and I like my wingers to have athleticism and have speed. So I would think that we shouldn't push back on some of these things. Let me pull up CC. Good night. How you doing, CC?
Good night.
What do you have to say? You looking forward to tomorrow's game?
Yeah, man, I look forward to tomorrow's game, man, Cranky. Like, I saw earlier where there's a friendly game, that was Congo and Bermuda. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game still. I think.
So did you watch the Congo Bermuda game? How was the game?
No, I didn't watch the game because I heard it was behind closed doors. So. And I just saw the score. But in terms of looking at New Caledonia, I mean, we have to take every game seriously. But I don't like, this is the thing, Cranky. When it comes down to certain teams, you have to just say it as it is. Jamaica is supposed to beat New Caledonia.
I would agree with that.
There's not, me understand that people they're afraid to say we're supposed to do this or supposed to do that in the event that we don't do it because, it's Jamaica. So, I mean, we're supposed to beat them. And I think tomorrow we have to go out there and show what we can do. But I think we still have to hold a few cards to our chest. And that means we have to beat them convincingly. Because remember, DR Congo will be watching that game and looking at what we are going to possibly try to throw at them. So I think in terms of victory, it has to be, even if it's a 3-0, it has to be something there. It has to be a comfortable 3-0 win, Cranky, where the guys them can go out there and kind of just get some minutes, get the game, get the feel of playing for Jamaica under their legs, like the likes like Ephraim Mesa Clark, Andre Brooks, those guys, and then you try and see how other things play out. Hopefully everybody get through the game healthy. But I don't think tomorrow's game is a game that we should be worried about. The next thing too, Cranky, I think Bell, because I was looking at the starting 11 and everything. I'm pretty sure that's where we are in the show, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're trying to pick our team.
All right. So for me, I think listening to what Rudolph Speed said, unless we are giving our own team, he said he was salivating at the opportunity of having Bell and having Webster and Rico Henry in the team. And
So that means he was going to play a back. Well, he was going to play a back five.
based on that, it says to me that he wouldn't have picked Amari Bell. That's just me. Based on that, because if you're salivating at having Henry and Webster both in the team, where would Bell have gone? So with that being said, I think Webster is going to be the one to start in the left back position. Because I think he's gonna want to.
Oh, you're saying he doesn't want Bell in his team?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't want Bell in his team. I'm thinking that Rico Henry's injury forced him to select Bell. So technically speaking, Bell is kind of a replacement player for Rico Henry, which means that he's second behind Webster, because if Rico Henry came, he would have been first choice.
Yeah, he would have been first choice easily.
Yeah. So
DJ Gigs. Who is Anderson? Where am I coming in? It's a bad-minded team. You put people that not exist.
I would say Bell goes to left back. Looking at the centre back options now, Rudolph Speed is prone to say centre backs complement each other, as well as saying he likes Damian Lowe. To the point where he carried Damian
Lowe. He talked about Lowe and King being centre backs actually.
So yes, I said, and he said centre backs complement each other, and I think he thinks Ethan Pinnock and King kind of similar. I think he thinks that because they're two ball playing centre back, whether Ethan Pinnock is better.
Yeah, that is true actually.
So he's not gonna play Ethan Pinnock and King based on his and all of this that I'm saying is based on what he has said. So based on what he has said, I surmise that he won't play Pinnock and King. So it's either Pinnock and Damian Lowe or King and Damian Lowe. But Damian Lowe is a constant. I think Damian
you think Pinnock going to be on the bench? Think Pinnock going to be on the bench?
I think based on what Pinnock did in the last game that he played over the weekend, and given that whatever happens in training session, he might end up starting Pinnock, you never know. So
I think Pinnock's game of the weekend has changed a lot of stuff actually.
Yeah, his game over the weekend, he probably would have come in being on the bench.
Right.
But the game over the weekend now is a different conversation. So I'm gonna say either King or Pinnock with Damian Lowe. That's the centre back lineup. Either King or Pinnock with Damian Lowe. And I'm leaning towards Pinnock and Damian. Well, King is his player, so a lot of people are gonna assume King is gonna start based on the fact that he would have coached King. But I'm gonna say Pinnock and Damian Lowe.
So this is DJ Giggs' team.
And the right back position now, I think he would have spoke about Latibodier and how brilliant he has, how brilliant of a season Latibodier.
Where you hear all of this? Come on, hear this. Where you hear all of this? Rudolph call you?
I know.
Me ask you when you call me, him call you. When him call you?
No, man, I think he was saying this sometime post the press conference conversation, and I went up there. So he was talking about, but he didn't say this in the press conference, like based on Latibody, based on some of the players I know they're playing. No, he said it on the radio, I think. He spoke on Latibody on the radio. I think he said it on the radio.
He talked about Rico Henry. Whenever he talked, he was gushing about Rico Henry.
He was talking about Rico Henry, but he mentioned Latibody as well on KLS. It was on KLS right after the press conference. He spoke on it on KLS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he said Latibody has had a brilliant season because I think the host was asking him about Lati, and he said, yes, man, at centre back and his team is in, because he spoke on a new player, like I think Efran Mesa Clark. So he was speaking on some players. And I think he mentioned Lati as having a brilliant season. So, yeah, Latibody here. So, for me, Bell, out of the Giggs team in the back line, I think Bell is the one that is not going to start. So, I think that one, he would get it wrong. In the middle,
you think Webster is at left back?
Yeah, and Webster is at left back. I think Lowe and Latibody are showing for centre back and right back. Ethan Pinnock, that's the one where I'm not sure about, but based on his game over the weekend, more than likely Speed will be going that.
So you're going to put him Protege on the bench, King?
So, I mean, maybe he puts King on the bench. So that, but everybody can say, based on the fact that it is his player, King has captained the side before, a lot of those things, he might end up going for Richard King. Plus King a play has played more games this season than Ethan Pinnock. So and probably run more miles than Ethan Pinnock.
Yeah, but Low ain't playing no more games than anybody else.
Exactly. But he likes Low. So that's
And
why
Low playing a Bush League.
So that's why I'm saying that. So for me, that I will work with if me get one round out of the centre back, out of the back for me. All right.
So what has he said anything about the people who are playing in the midfield and up front?
All right. So midfield now and up front, he was, I think, when it comes on to like Brooks, he was saying what a brilliant player Brooks is in terms of his ability to play multiple positions and his ability to play the number 8. So I think he's gonna start Brooks at number 8.
He doesn't have an 8 apart from Brooks. I don't rate Bobby Reed as an 8.
Yeah, I think he's gonna start Brooks as 8.
I think so too.
Isaac Aiden gets the 6.
Of course.
No, I think Mason Clark is gonna start.
Yep.
I think this is where it gets tricky now, because I think he's.
I heard Bailey playing the 10. That's what I heard.
I think he's gonna start Mason Clark, but I also think he's gonna start Leon Bailey.
I heard Bailey playing the 10. That's what I heard.
And I think he's gonna start. All right, so Leon Bailey, but depends, because right wing, I think he's gonna put. So it depends how you put it, but basically like is going to start. I don't think Tyrese starts. I don't think he starts Tyrese.
I don't think Tyrese Hall starts either.
I'm thinking about.
In fact, I'm almost sure Tyrese Hall is not starting. I shouldn't say.
I'm thinking at the 10, and if you start Leon Bailey, then who plays right wing?
You can put Campbell out there. What do you mean? You can put Bobby Reed out there if you want. You can put Campbell out there if you want.
All right, so let me put it like this. I think he's starting Leon Bailey, and I think he starts Bobby Reed at right wing.
Bobby Reed at right wing?
I think he starts Bobby Reed at right wing. He likes Bailey Kajamatri, but I think he starts Low in this game.
Think he starts Low too. That's why I picked him.
I think he starts Low in this game.
I would actually agree with that one. That's why I called him.
And then over the weekend, Low scored, Bailey scored, Mason.
Yeah, but Low didn't score. Low hasn't scored a lot of goals this season.
Yeah, but Low scored over the weekend.
He played every game and a lot of money, but he's not scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, based on the weekend, Brooks scored, Low scored, Bailey scored, Mason Clark won a penalty. So when you look at all those 4 players over the weekend, you would say they had from good performances to great performances. So coming into this match, I don't see him leaving out any of those 4 players. Bailey, Clark, Brooks, and Jamal Lowe. I don't see him leaving out any of those players. So
yeah,
it then comes out to and then Bobby Reed has been a consistent performer for Leicester this season. It's just that I don't think he has clicked coming to Jamaica, but I think in the last window he wasn't as consistent as he is now. So I think he has been more consistent now, because people don't remember that Bobby Reed was injured for the entire summer. So he didn't even make I think he didn't even play in the Gold Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Did he play in the Gold Cup?
I think he probably played the last game, didn't he?
Yeah, but he remember he was injured for the Unity Cup. Coming to the Gold Cup, he wasn't on great fitness after post-injury in the first World Cup qualifying campaign. I still think he wasn't at decent in terms of coming from that injury. So I think coming into this is his best form.
You know, somebody DJ put up Anderson if he gets a K-Roy night.
Yeah, I think this is.
I forgot K-Roy's in the team.
Coming back into the Jamaica setup. So with that being said, I think he gets the nod at the right wing. So as I said, that is my team. That's my team, Cranky. So the team that is up there now.
This is your team, right?
No, I'm saying the team. No, Bell out, Webster in.
Oh.
Campbell out. Bell out, Campbell.
Oh, okay. Another great CC team.
Oh, wait, Webster not exists.
Yeah, him that man.
And then Bobby Reed plays where Campbell is.
On the great CC team, people. CC believe that's what Speedo play. I can't tell you what people push back on them. I push back on Bailey in the 10. And push back at Reed. You can flip Bailey and Reed, you know. That could be a
But
team.
remember, I think when you look into how players play and how you can have players interchange. Remember, Bobby Reed is a man of multiple positions. You know? So it's like, if Brooks go forward, Bobby Reed can slide back down into the middle of the park. Where if Bailey comes across to the wing, Bobby Reed can slide across to the 10. So it's almost like, so if even one of the other player goes up, it's just like, for example, if you're attacking, and you know the system for like a 4-3-3, and you have an attack, and 4-2-3-1, you attack as a 3-3-4 system, and you defend as a 4-4-2 system, which means you have to see couple players dropping back. So Bobby Reed Bailey that drop back and Low that come back with Chris Clark and then Farmer too. So you really have to kind of consider how you that start certain players and how they're impacting in terms of the defensive approach when you're defending vis-a-vis when you're attacking, and how interchangeable these players are in terms of their positions up front. So I think with that, because if Webster goes up, then you can, I think, Pinnock, Low, and Latibody can form a three at the back. So it's like, because I think he's going to have Webster trying to attack. And then you have one fullback that stays. So for me, it's just my opinion based on the conversations that the coach would have had and my observations are my leanings from out of those conversations.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting actually to see what he does. I can't deny that we know some players are going to play, right? But the big issue that we have is right up the middle. The two center half, we have one position. The three right side of the defense, maybe the whole damn defense, frankly. We don't know who the center half is going to be, and we don't know who the right back is going to be. We assume Bell's going to play left back, but then you're saying he may play Webster for his attacking prowess. We know Brooks. I think Brooks and Hayden are guaranteed to be into the middle. Mason Clark is guaranteed on the left. And Jamalo is guaranteed at center forward. I don't know where Bailey is guaranteed to be. He's going to be on the field, but the question is where he's going to play. Is he playing the 10 or is he playing on the outside on the wing? Don't know. And that's interesting. But we have options. And the good thing is that we don't feel bad whoever we put on the field.
You know, the thing is, I think if Rico Henry, let me look. Rico Henry would have been a major miss from this point.
Rico Henry is a major miss.
Rico Henry,
Rico Henry is a major miss, yeah.
I think Louis Baker as well.
Well, we never really had Louis Baker, so we can't miss who we never had.
I don't think
Demari Gray is missing. The question is, Demari Gray a big miss.
Yeah, but I don't think Louis Baker is injured enough.
No, he's been injured all year.
Yeah.
He's just coming back. He's been injured all year.
Demari Gray and Rico Henry, I think, would be a major miss to the squad.
But Demari Gray probably would be on the bench or might be a right wing. Which one? Because he doesn't fit that right wing, you know.
I think it gives the coach better. It gives the coach less headache. No,
it'd be more headache. Because Bobby is his confidant. Bobby's the one he talks to. But to me, Bobby's game is not sure. I don't see how Bobby's game is sure. I would play Tyrese Campbell instead of Bobby. Tyrese Campbell plays every game for.
But the thing about it is that Bobby Reed wasn't like, I can't use Bobby Reed's form in the last window to really judge Bobby Reed.
He had no form to judge.
Because he had no form when he came to play.
Right.
It wasn't done. And I don't really want to touch upon a whisper thing because it's been overblown, but I'm going to touch on it. You know, when people say this, I don't know why them say it, I say it too. Hey,
CC, keep talking. I got to stop you for 1 second. Keep talking.
Yeah, so, like, on the Whisper situation, I think people understand, I don't think Whisper didn't make the team because he had...
If people can't hear CC, come here, stop you for 1 second.
Yeah. Tell me if you don't can hear CC, don't gonna chat people. So we're going to touch upon a dicey topic. So, you know, when the day say, Whisper didn't make the team simply because he wasn't getting enough minutes. But more like, when he got those minutes, he didn't show that he was on form. So in those minutes, he didn't show like, he's on form enough to get into the team. I think that's the reason why he wasn't selected. Because you can be playing limited minutes and get into the team. Like I think Cephas plays limited minutes. He's just playing a little bit more now. But in terms of what he does in those minutes, especially that he would have gotten our player of the match recently, so it shows that he has shown some little form. But when you look at the minutes, I don't know if this is not hearsay. Bro, watch a game then, bro. When you watch the games, bro, it's not that. I'm telling you, if you watch the games and saw Whisper, he did not look like he was on form. He's fit because there's no way you're going to make the match day squad if you're not fit. So he is fit. The problem is in the clips that I've seen of him when he comes to play, and people like that about hearsay. I have something with SofaScore, when the player gets selected, it comes up. And also I star the players. So it will tell me that the game is going on. So I go and look for the game. And then when I look for the game, I see the player on the bench or the match day squad. And then I look, when the player comes in, I will go and watch the player. So if the player comes in for 10 minutes, we'll go watch the player for 10 minutes. I watched Brooks over the weekend. I went back to watch a couple of the games because some games play simultaneously, so you can't really get, like for Aiden was playing, I think when Brooks was playing, a couple of the games were playing at the same time. Coventry played after, so you could have go watch Coventry. All I'm saying is, when Whisper got his minutes at Leicester, it didn't look like he was on form. It didn't look like he was affecting the game in the way in which you would want your winger to affect the game or impact the game. So that's pretty much, I don't know what could have contributed to that. Maybe it's a new environment. You try to settle down. You try to get some form. I remember seeing the guy named Divine Mukasa, the 18-year-old from Manchester City. When he came, he got his chance because Bobby Reid got a red card. He came in, instant impact. I saw how he impacted, how he affected the game, how he was dictating play, moving the ball around. Good in close, tight situations. You know, good under pressure in terms of passing under pressure. I saw all of those things. So I could see why Divine Mukasa is in England's what? I think the U19, U21 team is gotten called up for the U21 team in this window. I could see it. But when I saw Whisper, in terms of the minutes that Whisper got, he wasn't giving me the same impact that Mukasa was giving. So it's not like Whisper. It's not the limited minutes, I think, is really the only thing. It's the fact that even the first game, the minutes that he got, he never looked like he impressed. And in the 33 minutes that he extended minutes in the FA Cup, it didn't look like he really didn't impress. So for me, if he showed that he impressed, probably would have gotten even more game time at Leicester, because that's how you get game time and you get limited minutes. You come on, show the coach that you have you're impacting the game in some positive way in terms of, if I got more minutes, coach, I could have done this. If I got more minutes, I could have done this. So, I just think he didn't look sharp. He did not look sharp. And that's why he didn't get more minutes. And that's why I'm not in the team. And I think he had a better, to me, when he came in the team from the U21, I don't think a U21 player should be in the team. But fine, he got in the team. I think he's more deserving to try and get into the team when he went to Leicester. But because he had limited minutes, and with limited minutes, you have to be showing some form of impact. And I think his form was better last year in the latter part, than this period.
I'm curious to see how we play this this time around, because here's what's very important. If I look at a lot of the players, locally born or not, who played throughout the qualifiers, a lot of those players only get minutes in the national team. They ain't get no club minutes. Let me give you some example. Shamar Nicholson, was he getting minutes? Or did the 16-year-old take his game? John Russell, was he getting minutes? Or playing just a few minutes here and there? Whisper, playing for the under 21, he was playing alternate games. He was playing every game. And maybe they were bringing him up from the injury slowly. Kadamarti wasn't getting minutes. Played a lot in the early part of the season, wasn't getting minutes afterwards. Cephas wasn't getting any minutes. Just started getting minutes in the last couple of games. In fact, Cephas has no goals and no assists in 25-26 for his club team. He has goals and assists for the national team. So our national team was where players were getting minutes. Damian Lowe didn't have a club when he was part of this whole program or in the qualifiers. Repetition is important. Minutes are important. You can't always replicate game in practice. So if more than half your team, and Bobby Reed was injured, Bailey was injured, Gray was injured in and out, more than half the team wasn't getting regular minutes.
Casey was carded and injured.
Casey was carded. Even John Russell was carded when he was, right? I mean, Hayden didn't play Isaac didn't play in Curacao. So there were a lot of issues which we probably didn't notice because we were winning. Right? We only lost one, as Hayden said, we only lost one game in the qualifiers. Take the Gold Cup out. In the World Cup qualifiers, we only lost to Curacao away from home on a rough AstroTurf pitch. And even then, a lot of our players weren't playing regular minutes and producing as you would expect players in your national team to produce. And we get selected based on that production. So what you ended up with was a bunch of, bunch of players just come play football for the national team because they didn't get no club minutes.
You know, Cranky, I said to somebody the other day that if them realize in the last window, Casey Palmer never played in the game that we dropped points. In the game that we lost, Isaac Hayden didn't play. Ridley and Bailey, as I said, injured right through. Demary Gray wasn't playing, and I was injured. If people look back at the campaign and look back at it from a realistic point of view, we were treated, as I said, players were playing in the national team and not playing for their clubs. And then you have the players that, some of the key players that we needed, Palmer, Hayden, Bailey, Gray, they didn't play the key matches, the key games that we needed them. They weren't there. So when you look at it really, for people to say, I don't know, when you look at it really, for people to say, boy, McLaren do this and McLaren do that, I think McLaren played the hand that he was dealt. And I'm not saying that we couldn't have qualified or shouldn't have qualified. But if you really go back and do a post-mortem on that period, it was probably one of the most, one of the unluckiest, if you can use that word, period, for us in the final round was when we had pure injuries, pure foolishness. Nobody now the farm. Even Bobby Reed, as I said, did injured that coming into that campaign, coming into that final window.
I think part of it was probably luck or being unlucky. Part of it was poor management. Part of it was incompetence. Because don't tell me all of a sudden Mason Clark, Brooks, been trying to get their papers for 2 years, all of a sudden Rudolph take over and get them papers right away.
But as I talk about that, Cranky, Mr. Butler made a statement. And another thing that he said, where were these players when we needed them? Mr. Butler, I just want to say to you, when you're making those
we don't use that name on this channel. There's a name for the person. You can call him what you want to call him, but we don't call a name on my channel. Call him say the Phoenix boss or something.
When the Phoenix boss, when you make those statements, please to get certain facts before. Andre Brooks did an interview. The young man was sorting out his papers for 2 years now. Where were these players? They were stuck in a queue trying to get their documents to come and represent. So for 2 years, the youth will represent Jamaica. That means he was like 20, 19 going on 20. Tyrese Hall had his papers for 2 years. He had his passport. For the past 2 years, going on to 3 years, he had his passport already. You cannot select yourself. Somebody has to select you. He was not selected. So before you say we were these players, please to say what happened to the process. Why is it that the process is taking so long for a player who desires to represent the country of his heritage? That is the question you should ask. Stop.
I don't think no. He doesn't care. He has a narrative that he wants to provide to the public. He doesn't care. If he knew, he wouldn't do it that way. He's a liar. And here's why he's a liar. I talked about it earlier, CC. You remember CC came out, and I said this earlier in the program. I'll say it again because it bothers me. When he came out and doing the comparison between Whisper and Tyrese Hall,
Yeah.
do you realize that the Whisper stats was over a 3-year period? And the Tyrese Hall stats was this year? Do you realize that?
Yes, right. But also he left out Tyrese goal contributions. He just write goals. And
but if you do that 3-year comparison to the games played, Tyrese Hall played 115 games in 3 years. Whisper was eligible to play 40-something games. He only played about 27. Whisper had 9 goals in 2 years, 2 goals over that 3-year period. Tyrese Hall had 27 and 15, 27 goals and 15 assists over that 3 year between under 18, under 21, and Notts County. And Notts County have 7 goals and 2 assists now. So when you do a comparison, CC, as you know, you're comparing apples and oranges when you're using 3-year stats versus a 1-year stat. And you do it deliberately because you know what you're doing. Right? Whisper only scored like 4 goals this year with the under 21. He not get no game at Leicester.
My thing is this: you can represent your player because everybody does it, but you don't need to.
You don't need to push up. Exactly. You don't need to bring down anybody to promote your player.
That doesn't make any sense because I can always tell you, Whisper is a supremely talented young man.
He is a talented kid.
If he gets the other aspects right, like he's not injury prone. Is the mental side of it, all of these other things.
But CC, we have to be very careful about the mental side thing and say it in passing. It's as important as the physical side. And if your mental side is not there, you're going to struggle. Good night. Who am I speaking to? Hello?
Cranky, bless you, good night.
Good night. Who am I speaking to? Kia, man?
Jamaica. Arsenal fan, man.
What you say?
Why, brother, I'm just love how you do the program, you know?
Okay. Appreciate it.
Man, I'm love how you do the program, man. I love when the beat oral case, brother. Yeah, man. Man, I go on podcast and chat, be a stupid, brother.
Well, me only talk about what I'm talking about, you know, because I said the other day, I realized now, I heard him on a program quoting stats. And him saying, watch my program, I lie my tell, because I me say, him not have no substance, I don't have no stats. All of a sudden, me my quote stats for him program. So at least when him doing him YouTube videos. So a good thing that, you know. You can encourage people, you call them out and him start do things better.
I'm telling you proud of this because we as Jamaican just listen to foolishness and back to foolishness from politics go right to they just enjoy, so they not come with facts and give people the truth, you know. They just talk about things and people just run with it.
Yeah, look, it's important. Look, we have a responsibility, those of us who are in the public space and have these programs, to be as transparent as possible and as factual as possible, and to put the work in to inform our audience. So when you manipulate, manipulate information like some people manipulate information, it's not a good thing. You're being disingenuous. Yeah.
I can't give me still for me when I look for McLaren and the team McLaren pick. I think McLaren was listening to the assistant coach. I'm pick the team. Because sometimes I see McLaren make some change. I want to say, oh, we as fans we watch the game, I see game, and the coach now see game.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why Mr. Speed do not bring back my man there.
Maran Garden?
Yeah. And I see him Maran Garden did with the under 20 team. Be a fool in it.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised. I thought the JFF had a strategy with Maran Garden. I thought they were grooming him to have a significant role in coaching in Jamaica, whether it's, on a more countrywide basis or otherwise. Yeah, go ahead.
You know when I tell you some man Cranky and they get to the head, then the boy they reach now.
Yeah, I don't think he came across like that. I mean they had him with Algrimson, they had him in McLaren. I have no idea why he wouldn't have transitioned to Rudolph's team. And that question has not been asked of Rudolph. And it should have at least I haven't heard it being asked of Rudolph, and it should have been asked of Rudolph.
Look on this Cranky. Just look the training session where you see go on with
with
Cole, right?
Yeah.
And I look at the training session where you see go on with Maran Garden.
Well, I don't know if they're look. I don't know how different they are because here's what we don't see. A lot of times, those training session, they what they show to the public, they do a lot behind the scenes, right? Because they don't want to give away any secrets that they have. So they may show us the more less technical or strategic part, I should say, of what they're doing as related to what they want to do in the game. I'll give you an example. When we were in Dallas, when they played in the Nations League semifinal and the third place game, the play where I think it was Greg Lee scored, where they threw the ball on the wing and they played across, they ran that in training. We weren't supposed to be there because they said going to be there for 10 minutes, but we found a way to peep, as they say in Jamaica. But they will do things behind the scenes that you won't see, which are more strategic. But the more traditional training, they do it in the public domain, and they broadcast it, right? Because there's nothing secretive about that.
Yeah, and for me, because I know Cody good, because I'm there Moby and Cody come with JC, of course, JC team, watch him. I'm say I have everything about him, and even my mother coach Glenmore, you know? I'm glad to say in the team too, because those coaches are more technical, you understand?
Right, yeah. Well, I assume Cody would have learned a lot, given that his pro license, in terms of how to conduct training. I know that when you go for those kind of license, you have to spend time planning out each of the sessions you're going to be doing, and they have to have meaning to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then again, my love is a speed, though.
You love speed?
Honestly. No, I love when do my ball and them get drop Cranky. I'll be honest here. Then if you move up Cranky, I'll be honest here. Yeah. Me love it forward, but sometimes you can't see the way ball of them. Then I get to the edge, no? They feel like they depart up our ball is a good brother. They don't even just humble themselves and play a simple football.
Yeah, what I'm not gonna say they're not good, but I think we are better than we have shown actually.
Cranky, when you look at our local ball of them, I'll be honest, they're not really cranky. I'm seeing people keep on fight out the overseas players. Our local ball of them no good, and that to keep on to hype them up. I will look on a salad and pie and figure out that's a football. Football at 10% skill and 90% brain. And our ball don't play brain better.
Yeah, I think when you do an analysis of Jamaica's footballers and where they are, the ones that are overseas or locally versus other disciplines like track and field, we're sort of way behind. And the question is, do we really love football, and why isn't the football advance better than it is? I asked the question earlier this evening, which is, how many players locally developed have contract in top 20 league? That's one of the criteria, one of the policy, and it doesn't make any sense to me because I can't see too many locally developed players who have contract with top 20 in top 20 league actually.
Country, when you look at the country, we have enough ball that can come in the national program, you know. Just look at we know the Civic Road can't make England say, you know. Reece Nelson. You understand? We have ball, we have play, we have ball with our Man City, we have ball in everyone in the top team in England. But it's a problem. Until our fans and our local FA serve me language, country. Tell them out of them ass, our program now get better.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect. Look, we have to be focused on a couple of things, which I think Rudolph and his team are focused on. We have to find a way to improve the players in Jamaica, and have like a short, medium, and long-term plan in doing so, because they have the same DNA as the players overseas, right? Conceptually, they do. Yeah. And if that's the case, then why aren't our players better? And we have to figure that out. And I think the JFM is trying to do that with the coaching that they're doing. Yeah, go ahead, CC.
Yeah, I touched on that point one time. I said to somebody, if you look at John Barnes, who left the Jamaica as what, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling left at 7. Leon Bailey left Jamaica at 12, going 13 as well. Those 3 players, all born in Jamaica, would have spent a good amount of time, but they left when all signed for top 5 clubs in the world, top 5 leagues in the world, right? And the difference between them and players that are still in Jamaica is the access to better coaching, the access to better facility, the access to better dietitian, the access to things that would make you into a professional footballer. to the level that you could get to the highest level. All of them would have been made it to the highest level. So you're right, Cranky, when you said all of them have the same blood running through their veins. Why would some players be able to make it, but some wouldn't be able to make it? It's the environment. From our years now, we didn't have proper coaching. We still don't have proper facilities. There's a lot of things that we don't have except the talent.
CC.
Yes.
When I look on it, what like Caribbean, Jamaica have one of the most biggest talent pool, right? But you know what is the problem? With your local program from under 12 come right up. These coaches are not teaching the children technical first, brother. All them coaching video is to win. So when they reach a certain age, TC, and you as a proper coach get them TC, you have to teach them to control TC. When you should have moved from control to a higher level. So if you know the most, if you look even in the national team, look at our CFAs. If CFAs, if talented CFAs have, and speed have, if you in the proper coaching TC, CFAs are the one of the world beater, but there's a problem. In brain is so shallow. Most times you see man go down the wing. Just a simple screen and he can't make that. CFAs in a remind me of Martinelli. Very speedy, but they never don't get up, so you can't see.
They're looking for money. They lost some change.
And for me, you know, it's if Liam Bailey just play the football, it's simple. But guess what, Liam Bailey complete national team and you take the pressure upon himself. We don't need it to be the top man 19. We just need it for you just play the ball game simple. Once you play ball game simple, you might want to best play for your team. But if you try to take a big game and that is not team style, that's not team way. Allow the ball for the work. Our team want too much. Too much. Just play the ball game simple. Simple ball game, everything good. Cranky, one problem I want to affect one Cranky.
Yeah?
Yeah, King better, G's and P's. But we're not taking more ramp with Mr. Speed still.
Okay.
Dreamer.
Yeah, because he knows the speed, he knows the speed take him off after 5 minutes. You know that.
What are you saying, CC? CC, what are you saying?
That's the call life a Dreamer, me.
Call out, CC, if your name is Dreamer.
No, man, a Baker, man.
Oh, Baker, not Dreamer. Not Dreamer. No, he's not dreaming. He's not dreaming. You mean like dreaming that we qualify?
Well, boss, I be it though.
I think people are feeling more optimistic about qualification, given the 3 addition. I mean, only 2 may play, but I think people are feeling a bit better.
Books are all, and then if you go be open, Latin 19 will go open, no?
Yeah. Lati's now fit. Lati was injured before.
Lati fit and
Lati wasn't available to do qualifiers during CC. Lati wasn't available during the qualifiers. Lati wasn't available. He was injured.
Cranky.
Yeah.
Does Lati be available, but Lati wasn't fit?
No. Lati wasn't fit.
He wasn't fit.
He had knee problems.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking about BLE. There's a lot of people. The qualifiers were, in hindsight,
Let me tell you.
Not a good thing.
Cranky, them tell us there's 4 pillars to the game. Technical, tactical, mental, and physical. Physical to me is something that over a period of time you have to grow. You have growth spirit, all of them things. The physical, you don't really have to prompt it. Tactical and technical is where I think we have to work on, especially the tactical. Technical, you can set up drills to develop yourself technically, and even a player now has to know that you have to have the mental fortitude to know when the coach isn't there, you can do drills to improve your technical ability. Tactical is where I think we find ourselves lacking, and that's where I think we have to improve the most, because if you look at the academies all across the world, when you look at Doman, Waneri, a Chimpong of a Chelsea, Tyrese George, what's the other young man name from Newcastle? There's a young man there.
Who, Miles? Miley?
Yeah. Yeah. When you look at these players, technically they're sound. It's like when you look Rio Ngumo at Liverpool, like when you look, they're so sound technically. So the general thing now is the tactical side of it. So by the time, because of their technical ability, they are able to evolve and get into even the team
I
that they're in.
partially agree with you.
So
I don't think Jamaica developed players have the mental aspect of that whole equation down where it needs to be. You just listen to how they interview. This is how they communicate. This is how they engage. This is how they think. This is how they play. And go there and check the mental element, the mental component that you mentioned.
Yeah. But you know something? Look at where the guy name? Mo Salah. Mo Salah who is unfortunately walking away from the Premier League this season, you know, after 9
Unfortunately, there is a time.
Possibly. But he probably getting big payday. So, you know, say, you realize, say, Mo Salah, they show a documentary on Mo Salah and said, it took Mo Salah 5 hours to go to, I think, the training ground that he was, the team that he was training, and 5 hours back to the village that he lived. So that's 10 hours worth of traveling. And basically what them call it, a tin sardine with 4 wheels. That's how them describe the bus. You know how much mental fortitude it takes, Cranky, for you to go through that in order to get to where you are, to get to Basel, to come to Chelsea, to go to Roma and peak at Liverpool. It takes, as you rightfully said it, the mental fortitude is something I think they're leaving out in the game, and I think a lot of the coaches, they need to look at that when they're trying to develop these players, because I think development is the real development comes from. You cannot blame the cake for being what they call it, lopsided. You have to blame the baker. So if I go to buy a cake and the cake doesn't look presentable, or the cake doesn't taste good, I can't say, oh, what kind of fool cake this? I have to say, what kind of idiot baker this? Because it's the baker who is in charge of delivering a proper cake. So people keep cursing the players. The players are what they are because the baker, who is the coach, is who is guiding them, and they guided them to the place where they are. You can't make no sense.
I call it. Some of the people on call, so you have 1 more minute, and then we have to bring some people in.
Easy.
Yeah, man. May I hear?
Again, I can't blame the coach, you know, because you're one. If me want to reach somewhere in my program CC, me I go push myself, me I go research, me I go left training later, because me want to be the best. Look at McDowell and Jack Wilson interview. The man after the Everton game, and man talk. He said, "No, Jack Wilson tell him how good he is. He want Jack Wilson to tell him what he need to improve on. That's a player who want to go somewhere. Don't make a player them play one game and play good. I'll be a hype and get and get to the head and then done this. So, Cranky, that's what my brother, and just play with the league and the Champions League, brother.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Thanks for the call, man. Yeah, man. Bless up, Arsenal fan. Bless. Thanks, Gary. It's interesting. We have a troller in the chat and come late. Yeah, a troller in the chat and come late. But I ignore him tonight. I have the time. I have the energy for him tonight. But let's go back to the Reggae Boy. People, by the way, I'm trying to get up to 300 likes. So please hit the like button. I'm trying to get up to 300 likes. Good night.
Yeah, blessed night, Cranky, and blessed night, CC, and to your listeners and commentators.
Bless
Wayne here.
All right, Wayne.
Yeah, man. I just I was looking at the starting lineup that some of your commentators add up.
Right.
And I think since week or from last week, I was thinking about the Jamaican team. I think I said it on another program. About 6 years now, the defense let us down big time. And it's not because of the 4 defenders or out-and-out defenders that we normally choose, but because there is no other players. Maybe Isaac Aiden is the only player in recent time other than Grant. You remember Grant the Judge? That came in that qualifiers about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
is the only other player that helped the defense line in any way. No other player on the team helped the defense line. Sifas might try and run back to help the left back, but he offer nothing. He will create a foul most time at the edge of the box. Casey Palmer, whenever he try to tackle in any way or form, he will commit a foul. Even if Casey Palmer don't try to tackle, even if he try to track back, he will box the player, step on the player's foot, or push down the player. Bobby Reed is another one who do maybe 50% or 40% of defensive work, but he only tracks back. He will never put a foot or lean his body on the baller who is tracking to try and create pressure. Hence the reason Jamaica, it's super difficult for Jamaica to play against any team that have any system, any strong opponent, because our defense will be under pressure for the entire 90 minutes, because as they get the ball, they are heading straight. And the thing is, I know they say the best defense is offense. So if our offense was possessing the ball, then it could have taken pressure off our defense. But the thing is, our offense is not a possessive team. So we don't possess the ball, and whenever the opponent has the ball, they take the ball straight to our 18 at low sometime, King, Pinnock, and just hat them, and then we see where mistakes, because we all know that pressure bust pipe. So mistakes will be made as long as you're under consistent pressure. Hence the reason my team, if you want to bring it up, I would employ a back three, or should you can put it as 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1. However, when we are defending, we're going to defend like 5. When we are attacking, when we are defending, we can defend like 5 at the back. When we are attacking, we can attack at 5 in the middle. Hence, we're going to employ wing backs.
But you hear more recently when Blake was interviewed, and even Shamar Thomas tonight, they talk about playing transition football, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a, and I've heard Rudolph talk about this. I hear people in Jamaica talk about what our strengths are. We're physical, we're fast, we're quick, all that stuff. And even when I watch Jamaica play football, I don't see us running past anybody. I've never seen us dominate a team physically or running past. Even play Guatemala or El Salvador or Costa Rica, I don't see us dominating them physically. So what are we talking about when we say we should just play transition football? Because that's our strength. That's what we've been told. I don't see that being manifest itself on the field.
And that's what is killing us. Because when we are playing the transitional football, and whenever we lose the ball gets right back at the top of our 18. That's what killing us, because we are transiting Sifas down the wing, or Bailey, or Campbell, or anyone, name any one of the wingers. And as we lose the ball goes straight down through our middle or over the wing. And in stadium, if you remember the match against Curacao at National Stadium, they would have killed Lambakisa, because as they got the ball automatically reached over to the left-hand side, straight to our left, to our right back, and Lambakisa, he was up, down, trying to progress offensively, and then when they lose the ball, he had to run back, because they were pressuring his side, but not just pressuring his side, but that is all most of the games we play. That's how it planned out.
Well, but I do think part of the problem, though, is that historically, our wingers, whether Gray or Bailey, don't support the right and left back as well as they should, right? So Bailey doesn't play defense and Gray doesn't play defense. They play what I call, and Cephas doesn't play defense. They play what I call reactive defense. Oh my God, I got to run back at some point. Versus Tyrese Campbell, who plays defense, and I think Mason Clark also plays defense. So I think we'll get some more view and perspective given these games coming up as to who he plays and how they support the left and right back.
No, I agree with you. Hence, you have to set up the team with the players to complement the way the team, it's the psychology of the team is. You have to set up the team that way, and you have to do it tomorrow so that he can put in the missing piece and can perfect it against Congo. Tomorrow match, tomorrow match we can go out and give Caledonia a 4-0. I'm seeing that, but I don't want the 4-0 tomorrow because I want him to perfect the defense. So I will settle for a 2-0 for him to get it perfect. The side that I'm telling you, which is the best team, which is the best defensive team, is you have Bell, which left centre back. Beside him, we will have Pinnock. Then we have Latibod here. That's a back three. At wing back, we will have King. I would have suggested Latibod here to go to wing back, but we know Latibod here won't go forward and he cannot pass the ball like a King. Therefore, I suggest that.
But how do you get King at wing back? Have King ever played wing back before?
King played right back for St. Mirren at the start of the season. He played about 3 matches there. I guess they wanted to see his strength.
Okay.
And then right now they settle for him to play in the middle of the back three at centre back. But because Lati and Bell, they have well, we know King and Pinnock tried throughout the qualifiers, and so they have a little thing, but it wasn't working. It's not working, and Lati Bodier is arguably the strongest centre back we have. Bell, who is doing not too bad as well at Charlton. I would have suggested that Bell play centre backs too, but out of all of them, King is the best one going forward. So I would have, because if I should put Lati over there and switch Lati with King, Lati cannot go forward any at all. Lati would have to sit back, and then Sifas, who will be the left wing back. Not Sifas. Webster, sorry.
Okay.
Webster, who should be the left wing back. He alone will go forward. That can work too, with Lati sitting back, because as I said, I am preparing for Congo.
Right,
So
but if you play
too.
what you're playing, aren't you leaving out somebody you want in your team?
No. Your team have to make sacrifice, you know. What Jamaica is doing, we are making sacrifice. We're sacrificing our defense to go forward. And going forward, we don't have a big issue going forward. But what we do after in time is lose the ball once we choose to go forward. So we will lose the ball consistently. And who will defend? The back four cannot manage consistently. Hence we need the wing back, which is either King or Latibod here, and Webster to help Aiden in that midfield as soon as we lose the ball, to protect the back line so that the ball don't reach in our 18 that quick.
And any formation you play, you're sacrificing something.
That's the thing. So once we do that now with that 5, then we will have Aiden, and then we can put in Brooks. We can have Bailey on the right. We can have Mason Clark on the left. So Bailey would not have to do so much work. We know Bailey does not much defensively. But I know Rudolph Speed, if he should play a back four, Rudolph Speed is going to pressure him to come and help the left back. And then he won't be able to go forward as he can. But if we should use the 3 at the back with the 5 in the middle, Bailey will not have to do much defensive work. He can dare wait on the wing and be free, like what he does sometime at his club. Spread the field and wait on the ball out there instead of coming back.
But he plays in a back 4. He plays in a back 4 set up at his club, right?
Yes, but the coach have to constantly call in his name. Coach and
like I said, every formation. So if you play 3 at the back, then when you play 4 at the back, that means you have more defenders, right? When you play 3 at the back and you play 2 wing backs, so you have 4 across, you have 1 less attacker.
I agree. However, what suffice for that is that Webster is a capable attacker.
Right.
Webster is a capable attacker, and Webster can dribble the ball. Listen to me. Webster can dribble the ball from left wing and carry the ball straight in the box and does what Sifas does, or does what Mason Clark does, or interchange. He can do that. He can dribble the ball from left back and carry the ball straight in their box and make a pass. or a shot.
Yeah,
He can
it'd
do
be
that.
interesting it'd be interesting to see what team he picked tomorrow.
Yes, but I'm saying we have to perfect it against Caledonia. If we don't perfect it against Caledonia, then we are going to go in Congo and we're going to have the Jamaican fan base crying. Remember, mark my word. Wayne is the name. Mark my word, Cranky. If we don't use those wing back and play three at the back and have those solid defender at wing back in the likes of either King or Lati Bodier, which Lati Bodier is more experienced at right back. So I tend to going with Lati Bodier, but for Caledonia, we could try King. He played there for St. Mirren.
Some people are saying King he's gonna play right back for St. Mirren. Some people are saying that.
No, I know.
And he plays in that back three at St. Mirren, right?
No, I watched all of King game. He played the first 3 matches at right back. The coach was trying to see the best fit for him. So he was coming on and off at right back. The coach was trying to see the best fit. About November, he settled down well in the middle of the 3 center backs at St. Mirren. So I watch every game, so I don't need to guess. So what I'm telling you, he can do it because he can pass the ball well. But the coach have to try it in Caledonia before going to Congo. And that will be the strongest defense line that we can assemble. If we should use a back 4, then so God help we. Because Brooks is new. Aiden don't have the legs. Brooks is new. Aiden don't have the legs. And Brooks might believe that he don't need to do so much work. But he will realize that Bailey won't help him none at all. So, and Bobby Reed, if he's on as well, he won't help Brooks neither. He will just strap back and pick up scraps in the middle. So if we don't get those 2 players, wing backs, to solidify the midfield, then our defense will be in trouble. That's what I'm telling you, Cranky.
All right, Ben. I appreciate the call, sir. Thanks for the call. Bless up. Yeah, look, I mean, there are different perspectives on this, right? There are some people who believe that the 3-5-2 against Congo is the right approach, given the quality of their players. There's some believe we should just play the traditional 4-2-3-1 and have 4 attackers, and maybe you have a little more gap between the first and second line of defense, but you give your attackers some latitude and you take a little more risk to get the outcome. Good night. Hello?
Cranky, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing? Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Devon.
Yeah, not much, kind of a little under the weather, but,
Okay.
I'm alive. Listen, I understand what Wayne is saying, but what Wayne needs to understand that when you're playing with wing backs, you have to play with wing backs who can give you width and depth. We don't have any wing back in the team that can do that.
He's saying Webster can do that. I don't think we have anybody on the right side.
So
he's gonna
do it on one side?
No, actually, I think Bobby Reed can. No. I think Bobby Reed can do that on the right, actually. I don't think people think about Bobby Reed as a wing back. Bobby can be a wing back, yeah.
But the gaffer not going to play in there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he can play there, right?
So here's the thing. If we had Rico in the team and we have a Gray in the team, Tavon Gray, yes, you can do that. Because they can cover the grounds from box to box. We don't have anybody currently in the team. If it's Webster alone gonna do that, you're gonna kill him. Okay, that means you're gonna be unbalanced on one side. Bear in mind, when you play with 3 at the back and wing backs, they're gonna exploit the space behind the wing backs. Okay? Now, when they exploit the space, one of your center back has to come across. If that wing back is late, to get back. And I heard you talking about to help the midfield. So is he gonna invert one of them?
No, you're gonna have less people.
In
You're
attack?
gonna have less people in midfield, right? You're gonna have 4 across. You have less people in midfield. You only have 3 people up front then.
Yes. And bear in mind, when you're defending in a back 3, you're gonna drop 5. So you're gonna go 3-5-2. When you're defending, one of the 2 have to drop in the midfield line. So you have to go 5-4-1. Now, when you win possession of the ball, how quickly can you transform from defense to attack? That's key.
I thought we were fast and quick and physical, so it should be easy for us.
Everybody has fast and physical nowadays. Everybody. There are certain things in a game you have to look for. I am comfortable with a back 4. No, when we get the full complement of players, oh yeah, we can play the back 3.
Look, I think the back 3 worked really well if you have a Rico Henry playing it. I don't know if we
Exactly.
have, right? A Rico Henry is and then Pinnock actually is used to playing in a back 3. So is King. So is Bell actually.
And also if you have Rico, Dexter, or Frey, because Dexter tends to get high and wide, and he overlaps, then we can do that. But we don't have our full contingent of players right now. So we're begging for trouble if we do that against any one of those teams.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow, what team he plays and what formation he plays and what system he plays. It's going to be really interesting, actually. Because I've been told different things by different people in terms of what's going to transpire. So we'll see what he does.
Here is the thing. If anybody is looking for systems, tomorrow, he won't get it.
Why not just put the ball out and just get the ball out and just kick it up the field?
No, let me tell you what's the key to tomorrow's game, to win the game. Stay disciplined, stay organized, stay compact in defending, defend as a unit. When you attack as a unit. So everybody has to be in sync. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. And if one of those links is weak, you can have problems. You have to tentatively, first of all, you're playing at altitude. You cannot, for you to adjust at altitude, you have to be within 10 to 14 days in that environment. And hydration is key, because let me tell you this, if you decide to go there and say you're going to play pressing football, second half, a ball will pass your leg and you can't lift it up.
They're going to press, though. They're training like they're pressing.
Listen, the ball will pass your leg and you can't even lift it up after 60 minutes.
Well, we'll see what we do tomorrow. It should be interesting.
Tomorrow's game is going to be you pick your moments. When you get those opportunities, let it count. That's all I have to say.
All right, Devon. Thanks for the call, so.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm going to deck one more call for the end of the evening, people. Then tomorrow we come back. We'll be here tomorrow for a good amount of time. Probably start half an hour to an hour before the game. The game is at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Supposedly, I say supposedly 10 p.m. Jamaica time. Let me look and see where the games are showing. The game is Good night. Who am I speaking to?
Here tomorrow for a good amount of time.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes?
Yeah, man, sorry about that. Just a quick question.
Should we read anything into the result today between Bermuda and DR Congo?
No.
What do you think?
No.
You
Zero.
wouldn't read anything into it.
Zero. Think about it. This player just finished playing football overseas. They're probably tired as hell. They come in. They're playing on Wednesday. They're just going out for a run. And we're not even sure which team they played. And they play behind closed door. So we have no idea what transpired. We don't have enough intelligence information to inform our view as to whether or not it was two full-strength team playing. And we know players just came in. And most people don't play games today who just came out for a very hard season. Have you noticed the Euros are tomorrow?
I have seen the 11 somewhere. I don't have it nearby me now, but I have seen it. I'd have to look back.
I know. They say Wissa play, but Wissa ain't playing no football, so maybe that's why they played him, because he has been getting in the game time at Newcastle, except a few substitution minutes.
So, question: do you really think that they would be holding back to not expose the guys to? It's altitude, it's not bad as nowhere as close as Mexico, but it is altitude. And once you're there.
Right? No, they're in Mexico, right? They played in Mexico.
Yeah, so
it's not the same as Ecuador, you mean, like Quito, yeah.
No, it's not the same as Mexico City. Guadalajara is
you
lower.
mean Mexico City, okay.
But it will affect you. It does affect you. I did the checks up on it. It does affect you. And they are not going, none of the teams are going to be there long enough to really acclimatize anyway.
Right.
So the experience that I think, the funny thing is, a lot of people don't even realize that DR Congo has played matches at altitude. So I was saying at one stage that no, we'd be able to adapt, but they actually have. They have played in Kenya and some other places.
Yeah, we can't compete with African who can run all day. I mean, that's. I don't think that's the thing we should focus on, actually, in terms of their stamina. I think we're gonna focus: can we beat them on the football field? Can we come up with a strategy to negate them offensively? Because they're not the best offensive team. Look at their games. They win 1-0 and 2-1 here and there. They're very hard to break down defensively. So how do we penetrate their defense while not conceding goals?
Yeah,
that's the big thing. And I wouldn't take anything from the game because we don't know who they played in terms of the players who played. We know that somebody like Wissa played. We don't know how serious or hard they played. We don't know what their legs are when they flew all the way across to come and play. We don't have any information to inform our view, sufficient information to draw any conclusion. I know people are happy it's only 2-0 and everybody else, we and others beat. But think about it. We beat Bermuda enough, so did Curacao, so did Trinidad. So,
well, a stronger Bermuda team, even though that doesn't say. It doesn't really say.
You're right about that too, actually.
So way stronger. The team that is there is basically a new team. With a lot of younger players and so on. So
maybe they are better because the other one wasn't that good.
Well, that's another thing that's debatable.
That one wasn't that good at all. No, but I can understand what you're saying. I'm sure Rudolph and others will be pleased to see that result. You don't want to see 15 and 20 love and people start getting nervous. You want to feel like you have a chance. So man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so thanks for the call.
Well, that's just my take.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. All right.
Right. Yeah, man.
All right, people, this is the last call for the evening. It's after 11. We're going to close on the program. Let me just tell you where the games are showing tomorrow based on where I think you're going to be located. So the game is at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. out West Coast, if you're in LA, which should be 10 p.m. Jamaica time. The game is showing in the U.S. on Fox Soccer 1, and on Peacock and on foxsports.com if you subscribe to those. So if you subscribe to Fox Soccer 1, you can get the game real time and not delayed. In Jamaica, it's on Rush Sports and Blue. I think it's Blue. Yeah, BLUU. And where else? Where is it in Canada? I know people like Devon are in Canada. It's on DAZN Sports, that's Canada, or DAZN actually, not DAZN, DAZN, and Fubo TV. And where in the UK is it? Let me just get that and close it down. In the UK is on DAZN also. DAZN in the UK, and as I said, in the US is on Fox Soccer 1, Peacock, and a couple more streaming service. So no excuse for not being able to see the game tomorrow. The game is late because I think Guadalajara is 2 hours ahead of the East Coast, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and they're behind Jamaica. Think about Mexico. You know, Mexico borders the U.S., and Mexico runs a good way, probably 2 and 3 hours. If you're in San Diego, close to Tijuana, that's probably 3 hours from Eastern Standard Time. And then Guadalajara, I think, is 2 hours from, say, New York Eastern Standard Time. And Jamaica is an hour ahead. So I guess they're going to start the game at 8 or 9 o'clock. I assume it's 9 o'clock, but it seemed like where I read it was 8 o'clock in Mexico. But regardless, we're going to be up late. But you can take off Friday, people. The game's on Thursday. You don't have to go work on Friday. Just take off Friday. I'm not going to do a long post-game show, but I'll be here tomorrow. So hit the like button before you leave. Come join me tomorrow. Let's hope we can put New Caledonia to bed early, get it over with, and then gear up for the big game the following week if we get by New Caledonia. My expectation is that Rudolph is going to pick his best team. He already left out some people, what people are complaining about. But one thing about, before I leave, I say this, okay. So Rudolph is getting a lot of flack for leaving out Whisper. Rudolph actually told people, Rudolph Speed told people why he left out Whisper. He said when he was interviewed by T-Got, he said no one asked him the question about what the other conditions were when he talked about the conditions for selection. So apart from being fit and performing, there was an other category. He said part of the other category that indicated was discipline. And he talked about people coming in who they have curfew at the hotels, will stay at the hotel. And when the coach was leaving early morning to go walk, people are coming into the hotel. Them stay hotel night. And some people didn't stay there at all. You can get from that what you want to, because he was trying to send a message and indicate why he made some of the decision. People weren't listening. So I think we should move on from that whole situation. Whoever's not in the squad is not in the squad. It's a done deal. It not gonna change. Focus on what we're trying to do, which is, well, not we, what they're trying to do, which is qualify for the World Cup. We have a game tomorrow. It's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Jamaica time. Let's all rally around the team. You can visit any of the YouTube channel you want to go engage with people as they watch a game. This channel will also be carrying the game. And we welcome you to be here. And let's hope we are successful and we get some optimism based on performance for the game against Congo if we do beat New Caledonia. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you tomorrow. Peace out. Cranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Cranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Cranky life, tell them. Cranky life, heed them. Cranky.